Braves are back in Hyannis for the second straight night. It's game 2 of a 3-game set between the Bravos and the Harbor Hawks. Welcome into Before the Bravos, our Braves pregame show. Calvin Cristoforo with you, and joined back tonight by Nick Galley after a night off. Nick, you got to be feeling fresh tonight, right?
I don't know if fresh is the right word. Been a busy past 24 hours with obviously our 3-game series that we have with the Harbor Hawks this week, and then, of course, the draft as well. Saw a lot of Braves go today, or a couple of them rather, or 3 of them, right? Yeah, 3 of them. We saw 3 Braves go today.
You're so good at counting.
I know. I've been working at it, really been working hard. But, yeah, it's been a busy past 24 hours, but a fun past 24 hours. But good to be back on Before the Bravos alongside the most dashing man in the league, Calvin Cristoforo.
And that is true. That is true. But the stuff before that sounded like a little bit of hogwash.
Yeah.
You know, he's tired with the draft. You know, he just couldn't make it. He big-timed, essentially, before the Bravos yesterday. So, you know, I am the most charming man in the league, but you did kind of skip out on Before the Bravos, and you're going to need to do – there's going to be some time.
I'll put in overtime today.
Okay, there we go. I appreciate that, because right now there's a Band-Aid on the wound, and it needs to heal. So
Okay.
So Reeves, put that Band-Aid on. You need to heal the wound, so we're all fresh and clear and ready for.
Oh, I got you.
For the Bravos with video tomorrow when we're back home.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Against
we got
Hyannis.
video tomorrow. I totally forgot about that.
Yes.
We're back home.
So we're back home tomorrow against the Harbor Hawks. We're in Hyannis tonight. We were also in Hyannis last night. And we kept saying, I don't know how many Before the Bravos in a row, when we saw Colby Thomas's name in the lineup, we said, okay, his swing looked great today in BP. Fill in the blank. Fill in the game, because every game you just see how beautiful his swing is. And every time he came on this, Colby Thomas, his swing looked great in BP today. Is this the night that we see him break out? And that was the night last night. A single shy of the cycle. Had the double, had the triple, had the homer, did the hard stuff. Couldn't get the single to complete the cycle, but drove in all 6 Braves runs in the 6-3 win. He looked unstoppable last night.
Unbelievable game from him. I talked with him after the game last night. He said he needed a game like that. He needed a performance like that to kind of show himself that he could still put up a game like that in a league like this. So I think this is going to be a huge confidence boost for him. I talked with him again today. I was like, hey, man, you can't go for the cycle today because I can't headline you 2 nights in a row. I was like, that's going to be way too much press, man. Like, you're going to be hogging all the press.
What was his reaction to that?
He was like, oh, I'll try not to. Well, I don't think he said that. I forget what he said, man. But I told him.
That's good reporting right there.
I think he just told me he was like, well, this is how I let off. I said, you got the cycle in you tonight. I'll give you the full transcript. I said, you got the cycle in you tonight. He goes, I'm feeling pretty good, so heck yeah, I got it. And then I said, you can't do that, man. You can't do that because I can't headline you 2 nights. That's when that part came, and he kind of just chuckled and laughed. So take that how you will. But I said, man, you were a single short. I thought you had it, too, on that bunt. He said, I should have swung. Shouldn't have tried to get it the cheap way. But, hey, if you're a single short of the cycle, still a pretty good night. Colby Thomas looks like he's cooking at the plate right now.
Well, a couple of weeks ago against Harwich, there was that 2-hour delay. Remember the 2-hour lightning delay?
Do I remember the 2-hour lightning delay? Are you kidding me?
There was a 2-hour lightning delay, and it was in the 7th inning, so there was no rain. It was just a lightning delay, so the Braves were on the field. They were doing some games and stuff, and there was a spike ball game that broke out, and I, as a journalist that I am, I got on the field, and I talked to some of the guys on camera about the spike ball game going on, and Colby Thomas was playing. He's like, no, don't talk to me. I want to earn my interview when I win player of the game.
Wow, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me this.
Well, I'm telling you now. So after
you just sat on that? I mean, that's a good story.
So
right there.
after the interview last night, he goes, I told you I'd earn that interview. And
that's awesome.
That's what he did last night. So that's Colby Thomas's night last night. 3 for 4, 6 RBIs on the mound last night. Ben Etheridge, he was great. His first start as a Brave this season, and had some extra getty up and go on that fastball. It usually sits, 86 to 88. He got up to 90, 91 last night, and he looked great.
Anytime you hold a team in this league, throw records out the window. Anytime you hold a team in this league scoreless through 4 or 5 innings as a starter, that's a good outing. There's no doubt about it, because I know Hyannis has struggled this season, without a doubt. I mean, the record shows that, but they got some good hitters in this lineup, and we saw that in the latter half of the game last night. They were, for a second there, it looked like they were putting together a comeback.
Yep.
Well,
they brought the tying run to home plate.
They did. And so the fact that Ben Etheridge came in last night, it was his first start on the Cape, and he looked like that, that's very promising for a team that's lost a lot of its starters to the draft.
Yeah, so hopefully Ben Etheridge can slide right into this starting rotation. It picked up where guys like Gordon Graceffo and Nick Zwack left off. A guy himself who picked up where he left off was Eric Adler, who continues to be a weapon out of the bullpen for Harvey Shapiro. Came in the game, throwing 94 to 96, another 1-2-3 ninth inning. I think he's the best pure closer in the Cape League.
I mean, watching him is just fun.
He's filled with so much confidence.
It's just fun.
Yes.
I mean, you feel like, we've seen with the pitching staff, there's really been no established roles so far this season. Guys have been starting. They've been coming in relief. Starters will go kind of 4 innings, 3 innings. Relievers, middle relievers will go 3-4. But Eric Adler has that closer spot locked down. That's really been the only defined role that we've seen, in addition to Xavier Lovett as kind of an eighth-inning guy.
Yes, I love him in the 8th inning.
Oh, he's great in the 8th inning. But
he came in last night, too, and had to clean up a mess that his teammate Cade Smith left.
So the back end of the bullpen between Xavier Lovett and Eric Adler, it's just nasty. And it's nice that you need consistency in the back end of a bullpen. Middle relief, starting pitching, you can kind of mix that around a little bit, but in the back end of a bullpen, you need to know what you're getting. Yeah, and they have that with Adler. And
Adler was great once again last night. So the Braves, like we mentioned off the top, in the middle of a 3-game set with Hyannis. In Hyannis last night, in Hyannis tonight, home against the Harbor Hawks tomorrow. And it's a little bit of a different lineup. We'll get to that in just a second. But let's start on the mound where Jake Bennett, the left-hander at Oklahoma, makes his 3rd start, I believe, of the year.
Is it his 2nd? Did he come in relief?
He started against Brewster. He started against Orleans. Was there appearance in the middle?
Did he start? He started against Orleans?
He started against Orleans.
Dude, it's been a long season, man.
So I believe it is
his 3rd start, because he had 1 relief appearance. So
I believe
it's started against Orleans, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's his 3rd start of the year, 4th appearance of the season. So,
dude, it's been a long year.
Yeah,
we are at this every night.
Get these games mixed up, but Jake Bennett, doesn't have a record 0-0, but his ERA is under 2.5. The lefty has been very good.
Yeah, I mean, his start in Brewster sticks out to me the most, obviously, considering I had forgotten he started against Orleans. And in Brewster, he looked great. Orleans, he was solid as well. That was the game Van Loon came in to relieve, right?
Yes.
Oh, man, there we go. I'm back on the board, baby. Galley's back. But, Jake Bennett, I like him more in a starting role than a relief role, so I'm very glad to see him start tonight. I know we got Cole Chudoba coming out of the bullpen for him afterwards, and he hasn't pitched in a while, so it'll be good to see him get back on the mound as well.
Well, Cole Chudoba was somebody that we might have seen, I thought we could see in the starting rotation with the departure of Andrew Taylor, but I guess that spot is now still TBD.
Up for grabs.
Jordan Patty is scheduled right now to start tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen after he appeared in the game last night. So tomorrow's starter, I believe, to be up in the air. But let's go through this Braves lineup. It's a little bit of a different lineup. Joe Lampe, the center fielder who we see, as now Jordan Patty walks right behind us and walks into the dugout here. So
there we go.
So Jordan Patty, he still could start tomorrow. Did pitch 2 innings, though, the game last night. So Christian Knapczyk is leading off tonight. No Joe Lampe, who's been the everyday center fielder. He has the night off. Harvey Shapiro is sticking with the left-handed bat at the top. It's the second baseman tonight, Christian Knapczyk. He's not playing shortstop. He's playing second. He's leading off.
I will say, I love what he did last night on that double that he put down the left field line. That
was my second favorite hit from him in the night, though.
Exactly. That is peak Christian Knapczyk right there. I mean, just did he have that bunt too?
Yes, that was great.
That went over the pitcher.
That was a great bunt.
Okay.
I love that.
But peak Christian Knapczyk is when he is just slapping the ball to left field and it gets down into the corner.
We're to the ceremonial first pitch here on Hyannis as we continue to go through the Braves lineup. We're about 7 minutes away from first pitch under a 2021 Cape Cod sky, which is
gray,
which is gray tonight. 6 o'clock first pitch. Max Anderson, he's kind of been the set and forget number 2 hitter for the Braves. He's back there tonight. Was in the DH spot last night, which means he's back at third tonight.
Tough night last night offensively for him. Or no, he had a couple hits.
He had a couple knocks, as he seemingly does every night.
I think the game before last night, he had a little bit of a tough game. I think he was held hitless in Chatham, I believe. I think he was held hitless in Chatham.
Yes.
And then bounces back last night. That's what I love about Max Anderson. He has short memory. If he has an off night at the plate, bounces right back with a multi-hit performance. We saw that last night.
Well, hitters hit, and Max Anderson is a flat-out hitter. So he's batting second. Dalton Rushing, who in the departure of Colton Bender, is making his second start of the season at catcher tonight. He's hitting third.
Yeah, he's got big shoes to fill behind the dish. with Colton Bender. Obviously, you love Dalton Rushing's bat in the lineup, so we're probably going to see him behind the plate a little bit more until Bourne can pick up another catcher if they decide to go that route, which I think they should. You need more depth at the catcher position. But Dalton Rushing's bat, you cannot sit that right now. He's been absolutely amazing at the dish.
Yeah, he's been great. So he hits third tonight, and it's Braylon Wimmer who's playing in left field tonight. He had an off night last night, or was he at second? Still a couple of minutes between first pitch between the Braves and the Hyannis Harborhawks. Welcome back to Before the Bravos, our Braves pregame show. Calvin Cristoforo and Nick Gallagher. We're going to run through the back of half of this lineup really quick. Caden Wallace is in right field, hitting fifth. Colby Thomas moving from his left field position to center field with the absence of Joe Lampe in the lineup tonight. He hit sixth. Nick Goodwin is doing the designated hitting. He hit seventh. Josh Moreland back in the lineup tonight at first base, hitting eighth. And Tanner Schobel, who we've seen a lot at second base this season, moves over to shortstop. He's hitting ninth.
Yeah, I like the back end of this lineup between Goodwin, Moylan, and Schobel if they can produce as we've seen them do in the past. I think it's kind of a hit or miss with those three. You know, some nights we see them on, other nights they're a little bit off. As of late, Josh Moylan's been looking a little bit better at the plate. He's shown some contributions, which you're going to need this season. We've talked about it so much. No Reggie Crawford at first. You need Josh Moylan to produce at the dish. So hopefully he can start to really kick that in. But Nick Goodwin, another one of those guys who's been a little bit streaky, but coming off a performance a couple nights ago where he had 3 hits. So hopefully he can build off that.
And as the Harborhawks take the field here at McKeon Park, I'm going to need your pick to pop.
I know the question's coming in. I'm going to say Dalton Rushing. I really like what he's been doing at the dish.
I like the left-handed bat. I'm going to go with Josh Moylan. I think it's a matter of time before he breaks out. I think he gets it tonight. Had a great round of batting practice today. So I like Josh Moylan as my pick to pop for tonight. First pitch is coming up in just a couple of seconds as the Braves look to get win number 13 of the season and second in a row against Hyannis. Daniel Coates and Reeves Jackson have the call here from McKeon Park. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Welcome back to McKeon Park. 24 hours later, the Bourne Braves begin their quest for win number 13 on the season. My name is Daniel Coates. Alongside me, Reeves Jackson. The Bourne Braves handled the Hyannis Harborhawks yesterday 6-3, mainly on the back of a 3-for-4 performance by Colby Thomas and a great outing from Ben Etheridge. 6-3 was the final yesterday, hoping to replicate that again. Reeves alongside me. I'll be here for play-by-play for the next 2 innings. We have a new leadoff hitter, Joe Lampe, getting the off day. Christian Knapczyk will start things off against Scalaro, the starting pitcher for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, Jonas Scalaro from Brandon, Florida, out of Florida State University. A few Florida State Seminoles in this Hyannis lineup, including tonight's starting pitcher. The lefty Scalaro at 5'10", 190, making his 7th appearance already. Just his first start, though, but a 1.28 ERA. He has been impressive thus far.
So here comes Christian Knapczyk to the plate. He flares one foul. It might be playable at third base. Man going over towards the fence. It drops just before the fence. Strike number 1. But Knapczyk hasn't often been at the top of the order. We've actually seen his movement from the top, usually at the 2 spot, down towards that 6-7 spot the last few days. But Harvey Shapiro had other plans for today.
Yeah, just trying to play around with Knapczyk a bit in the lineup. And I think it's always good to keep things fresh, of course. I mean, Dalton Rushing is behind the plate today. And obviously you got the outfield trio, which I really like, which I'll get to in a sec.
Second strike from Scalaro, drops in 80-mile-per-hour breaking ball on the inner half to Christian Knapczyk, who comes in 17 for 52 on the day, a 326 average. Third pitch is low and inside. Ball 1, 1-2.
Yeah, I really like the outfield trio that the Braves are going with today, Daniel. Obviously, Colby Thomas back in the lineup after that 3 hits, 6 RBI day. And then you have Caden Wallace and right. Braylon Wimmer goes from second to left. I like that a lot.
Battling it off in the same position he fouled it in the first pitch. It goes well out of play, though.
Oh, what a catch by the fan.
There you go. Barehanded in front of the family. That gets some dad bonus points right there. 1-2 count. No outs in the top of the first at McKeon Park. The lights slowly coming on here. A 6 o'clock first pitch. Scalaro from the windup and Max Anderson on deck. 1-2 breaking ball, misses high, 2-2. 80-mile-per-hour, looks like a good breaking ball from Scalaro. Christian Knapczyk has battled off. The fastball is coming from him. Looks like it's sitting around that 90 spot. The delivery. Another foul ball right into the chest of Proto behind the plate.
Yeah, it's back-to-back days of left-handed starters for this Harbor Hawks squad. We had McKeon yesterday, and with Scalaro today. And it's going to be a lefty versus lefty matchup as far as these pitchers are concerned, with Scalaro for the Harbor Hawks and Jake Bennett going for the Braves today.
Knapczyk went 2 for 3 yesterday against these Harbor Hawks. One of them came with one of the funkiest bunts you'll ever see that gave him a single. That breaking ball again misses high, and a payoff pitch coming for Scalaro. Christian Knapczyk showed bunt yesterday. The pitcher came in. It was popped over the pitcher's head, rode down the backside slope of the pitching mound, and Christian Knapczyk easily made it to first. Another foul ball over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks dugout. 3-2 it remains.
Well, Harvey Shapiro entrusting Knapczyk with the leadoff spot today, and he's doing what a leadoff hitter should be doing, working the count, full count, and fouling off some tough pitches to work up the pitch count of Scalaro early on.
3-2, another foul ball right back into the net of the backstop. Christian Knapczyk not making the first battle for Scalaro easy by any means. 9 pitches in this battle.
Whew.
And that's why you put him at leadoff. Behind him will be Max Anderson, who's coming off a 2 for 5 performance yesterday. That's the 6th game of this season that Max Anderson has posted 2 or more hits. Another foul ball.
Love it, Christian. This is great. He is making Scalaro work just now. 10 pitches already to the first batter. You're going to see an 11th. That is an excellent way to drive up this pitch count for a Hyannis bullpen that is depleted with guys gone to the draft. You look at their bullpen down there, Daniel, not many people out there.
The delivery, breaking ball swung on and missed. Christian Knapczyk's double-digit pitch battle ends with a swinging strikeout, but that's not before getting that pitch count up for Scalaro. Max Anderson will step in after Knapczyk. 1 out, top of the first.
Yeah, regardless of the end result there for Knapczyk, an 11-pitch at-bat to begin this game is something you love to see against the Florida State lefty.
Swing and a miss, high fastball from Max Anderson, high and towards the letters of his jersey. Again, the Bourne Braves in blue with the gray pants, the red piping, breaking ball, swing and a miss. 2 swings for Max Anderson on 2 different pitches. That breaking ball, 82, well low and outside, 0-2. 1 out, Dalton rushing on deck. The delivery from Scalaro from the windup fastball in the dirt. Max Anderson has been one of the premier batters on this team, 13 for 38 on the season, 4 RBIs for the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. 1-2 is skied. Looks like it's in foul territory. Proto looking after it, but it goes behind the net and onto the roof of the press box. Almost able to field it over there, Reeves.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer as the season progresses. It's July 13th, so we still have, including this game, 21 games left if you count off days. And we've played 17, so we've got some time, more than half the season remaining.
Breaking ball low and outside. Max Anderson passes. So really the breaking ball right now for Scalaro hasn't been able to hit the zone.
He's been bouncing it up there a few times.
But he's catching the Bourne Braves biting. Swing and a miss off a off-speed pitch for strikeout number 2.
Yeah, beautiful changeup right there. That was beautiful, just diving away from Max Anderson. Great pitch there from Scalaro. So obviously we know now, a 3-pitch pitcher. He's going to have that fastball, the big 12-6 breaking ball, and then also supplements it well with that changeup now that we saw. So good pitch there from Scalaro, 2 away on 2 Ks.
2 swinging strikeouts from Scalaro, the Seminole. Dalton rushing, the lefty digs in, 333 on the season. Breaking ball, pass but catches the zone high, strike number 1. Dalton rushing, coming off a game against Chatham where he hit an absolute bomb to right field. Second pitch bounces off the plate, 1-1. Braylon Wimmer on deck.
Rushing yesterday was 0 for 4 in the game, one of just a few Braves that were held hitless, including Joe Lampe, Peter Burns, and Zach Agnos.
Fastball battled behind the backstop. It'll move to 1-2 here on another beautiful day for baseball, Reeves. If you couldn't tell, that was sarcastic. We have another foggy, overcast, and a little bit rainy of a day. 1-2. Ground ball right towards the second baseman, Romano. All he has to do is flick it over to first, and that does it. For a quick top of the first, 1-2-3, Scalaro takes care of the Bourne Braves, looking for their 3rd win of the season. It's 0-0 going to the bottom of the first. Jake Bennett will take over on the mound for the Bourne Braves, looking for their 13th victory of the season after a slow start, Reeves, to the top of the first. A 1-2-3 inning from Florida State's Scalaro, and Hyannis puts the Braves away, something that they weren't able to do yesterday early on in this game. But Jake Bennett, the Oklahoma Sooner, will be taking to the mound, and he might be really the ace for this team moving forward. This bullpen has been completely depleted by the MLB draft.
Yeah, I would say that maybe Austin Parsley's the right-handed ace and Jake Bennett the left-handed ace of this squad. Obviously, Jake Bennett has been excellent on the season. 0-0 with a 2.45 ERA. This is his 4th appearance, but his 3rd game started. He started against the Orleans Firebirds back on July 6th. He went 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, walked 1, and struck out 3. A big, tall, 6'6" left-hander, 225 pounds. As we know, we've chronicled that before. Bennett throws downhill. He's low 90s, 90 to 93 with that fastball. He's got a plus breaking ball and has a changeup as well. But Jake Bennett has been one of the best starters on this team this year, and a guy to keep an eye on in the Hyannis lineup today, Daniel. Clark Elliott who against the Bourne Braves yesterday went 2 for 3. He scored a run as well, so did get a stolen base as well. So Clark Elliott got to keep an eye on in that 2 spot for the Harbor Hawks.
Caden Rose will start things off. The righty center fielder from Alabama, swing and a miss off a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Jake Bennett gunning it for the first pitch tonight, bottom of the first. We are still scoreless after the Braves went 1, 2, and 3 at the plate at the hands of Scalaro. That 0-1 is a breaking ball that catches low and outside. Caden Rose immediately down 0-2, and he looks like he's dealing right now. 0-2 count. Good. Boy, he is a tall, big pitcher with a lot of leverage on this mound here. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3 pitches. Gets Caden Rose down swinging. And Bennett really setting the tone here early on. And Reeves, as much as he is a storyline tonight, another storyline to follow is who's behind the plate, and that's Dalton Rushing.
That's a great point. Absolutely. Dalton Rushing behind the plate. Obviously, you lose Colton Bender to the draft yesterday in the 10th round of the Padres. So right now, you have Peter Burns and then a guy in Dalton Rushing who's just catching his second game this season. But no stranger to the position. Obviously, caught at Louisville and in high school as well as the breaking ball missed outside. But Dalton Rushing is going to fill the shoes just fine. Obviously, Bender and Burns were the 2 guys who really supplanted that position behind the plate. But now you need Rushing to step up, and I think you'll maybe see a platoon of Burns and Rushing now behind the plate every other day.
The 1-0. Second pitch misses high. Fastball sitting in the low 90s. And not only does that open an opportunity for Dalton Rushing to show what he can do behind the plate, but it also opens the door for Joshua Moylan to take over more time at first base where he is tonight. 2-0 delivery from the windup. Hard hit ground ball right past Knapczyk at second base and going out to Thomas, taking over for Joe Lampe. Clark Elliott does not skip a beat, and that is a 1-out bottom of the first single. Clark Elliott takes over first base, and Jake Bennett gives up his first hit of the day.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe the lefty-lefty tonight against obviously Elliott facing the righties Etheridge and Patty. Last night, the first 2 pitchers and a plethora of righties out of the Braves pen, but was going to say maybe that Bennett, being a lefty, could equalize Elliott at the plate, but not on the first AB at least. Another rip up the middle, picking up where he left off a night ago.
The 3-spot hitter, Kyle Ball, digs in with a man on first. Bennett looks over at Elliott. High blooper to right field. Coming in is Caden Wallace. Can he make it? And actually, that's Knapczyk who takes over. So Caden Wallace's duties relieved there on a weak fly ball to shallow right field. Out number 2. 4-spot cleanup, Zane Harris, who defensively is at first base for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in white with the pinstripes. It's a sharp look. And Reeves, I told you yesterday I love the orange and blue color.
Yes, there's some clean uniforms, I'll tell you that. One of the cleanest uniforms in the league, believe it or not.
The 0-0. Elliott still on first. That one gets behind Dalton Rushing. There goes Elliott. He's going to take over second after a pass ball. Dalton Rushing still getting used to that position. Speaking of positions in the infield, Tanner Schobel back at shortstop where he has been so dependable, and Christian Knapczyk taking over second base. So, again, I mentioned I love those 2 in the middle of the infield.
Yeah, probably your most two most sure-handed middle infielders, I would say, on the team, and they could both be interchangeable as well with Knapczyk at short and Schobel at second. Very versatile.
That's a laser to right field. Caden Wallace going back. He can't grab it. It jumps off of the wall. Scoring will be Elliott. And trotting to second is Zane Harris. What a frozen rope to right field. Too far to the left of Caden Wallace for him to handle. That is an RBI double. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks are on the board first, 1-0 in the bottom of the first. And what a piece of hitting there. That was an absolute laser to right field from Zane Harris, scoring Clark Elliott.
Yeah, Zane Harris was in the 6th spot yesterday, moves up to the cleanup position in the order today, batting 4th. I think Jake Bennett just left that fastball a little too much over the plate, and Zane Harris made him pay for it.
First pitch in the dirt off the chest pad of Dalton Rushing. He keeps it in front of him and keeps Zane Harris at second base. Ryan Romano, the second baseman for the Harbor Hawks, looking to keep the bottom of the first alive. 2 outs, and Zane Harris is at a lead at second. The lights coming on here at McKeon Park, and Bennett giving up a run early. Chopper towards Tanner Schobel, picked up actually by Max Anderson, gunning it over, and that will do it for the bottom of the first. He comes across the middle of the infield and fires it over to Joshua Moylan. Jake Bennett gives up an RBI double, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks strike first here at McKeon Park. 1-0, the Braves will be batting next. The 4-spot hitter, Braylon Wimmer, will be up first. Scalaro took care of the first 3 batters, 2 strikeouts, and 1 grounder. Finished the top of the first. We're at the top of the second, and Reeves, Hyannis Harbor Hawks lead this thing 1-0. We are most comfortable when we're leading first, but that is not the case here today in Hyannis.
Yeah, but if anything's a sign of last night, then these guys coming up, the 3 outfielders for the Braves, Wimmer, Wallace, and Thomas. These guys should be ready to be all over Scalaro here today.
First pitch low and outside, ball 1. Scalaro facing Braylon Wimmer, who's 14 for 49 this season. Second pitch drifts high, 2-0. That's an 89-mile-per-hour fastball from the Florida State Seminole, who's simply been pitching from the windup and dealing in the 4 batters that he's faced. 2-0. High fly ball. Looks like a routine play for Caden Rose out there. And he finishes it off and secures out number 1. A fly ball directly to the center field. Braylon Wimmer goes down for the first out of the top of the second. And here comes Caden Wallace, the 5-spot right fielder from Arkansas.
Yeah, these 3 hitters last night, the 3 outfielders for the Braves today, hitting successively 4, 5, and 6 today, were 6 for 13 last night. Wallace had the double in his first plate appearance, and then Thomas, obviously, the 3-hit day. Wimmer had 2 hits himself.
Swing and a miss off a really nice breaking ball dropping off the table. 80 miles per hour for strike 1. Wallace is batting .300, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. 0-1, that's taken high into right field. Underneath it, running towards the foul line, is Elliott, and he finishes it off. 2 fly balls will do it, and Scalaro finishes off the 4-5 batters. And the 6-spot batter with 2 outs in the top of the second is Colby Thomas, who completely caught fire yesterday. 3 for 4, 1 single shy of the cycle.
I think Calvin brought up a good point. If you didn't hear it on Before the Bravos, Calvin, when the Braves got in a lightning delay with, I believe was it Harwich? Nick, was that Harwich, the lightning delay?
I believe that was.
I think it was Harwich. So
because Brewster was when it completely started
Correct.
downpouring.
Yes, good call. So
first pitch drops into the zone to Colby Thomas. The delivery from Scalaro misses high, fastball.
So Calvin was telling me that when the players were playing spike ball, he went down to get an interview from the guys. They were all playing spike ball, and he brought Colby over, and Colby said, no, I'm not going to do an interview with you because I want my first interview to be with you when I'm the player of the game. How about that?
1-1. Swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch, 80 miles per hour. Has Scalaro ahead once more. 1-2. Nick Goodwin, the designated hitter today, on deck. But Colby Thomas, he was hitting the ball really well. He said before the game his goal for that game was to just get on top of the ball, and certainly did that. Swing and a miss. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball well ahead of it. Colby Thomas finishes the top of the second. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks hold a 1-0 lead going to their second opportunity in the batter's box. My name's Daniel Coates. Alongside me, Reeves Jackson. And we'll have the bottom of the second to you in just a few moments. One to nothing, Reeves, and not the start we expected here at McKeon Park. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks have the lead and have another opportunity to extend that lead here. They had one run at the hands of a double from Zane Harris, scoring Clark Elliott from second base. That double drove the first run of the game. 1-0, and Jake Bennett still on the mound for the bottom of the second. From the windup, that breaking ball, I believe they say that hit him.
I did.
Couldn't tell very much from where we're sitting. It must have been very light, but down goes Luke Mann to first base, hit by a pitch in the first pitch of the bottom of the second.
Yeah, must have barely grazed the jersey.
And Proto steps in. He is the catcher today. He'll have a man on first. Luke Mann taking the lead. Hard hit line drive to right center. There goes Colby Thomas. Right there is Caden Wallace. He throws it to first, trying to catch Mann, and he is safe. Without tagging, had to retreat back from second base. What looked like a frozen rope that was going to drop in right center was saved by Caden Wallace. Ryan Proto gets out off a fly ball. Very hard hit to the Arkansas Razorback in right field.
And then Caden Wallace almost did he threw it across his body, didn't even set his feet, and he threw a strike over to Josh Moylan at first and almost doubled up Luke Mann.
It was a Derek Jeter-esque play in the outfield that I've never seen before. But nevertheless, we have one out. Luke Mann still on first. Great pitch from Bennett, 93 right down the pipe to number 34, Dylan Post, the designated hitter, and 8 spot today.
Yeah, Post, one of the catchers on this Hyannis team from University of Houston, from New Lenox, Illinois.
From the stretch, breaking ball in the dirt. Dalton rushing, catches Mann in a pickle, throws down to first. Mann going to second. They got him at second. Joshua Moylan fires it down to second base, and Channer Schobel there with the tag. Luke Mann goes down for out number 2. Caught drifting in no man's land between first and second. And a great play by the new catcher, Dalton Rushing, in his second appearance behind the plate defensively.
Well, yeah, once Mann got caught, he just started booking it to second. By the time Rushing got it down to first, I was wondering if Moylan was going to be able to get it over to Schobel in time, and just got the tag in before the slide of Mann into second. Good play.
1-1 high and inside for ball number 2. 2-1 to Dylan Post, whose at-bat was interrupted a bit right there. We'll take it for sure, Reeves. 2-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the second, so Jake Bennett got himself into a bit of trouble with that first pitch to Luke Mann, but we have 2 outs now. Swing to miss off a breaking ball low, just gets over the plate. 2-2, the count is knotted up.
Yeah, pretty good crowd here at Hyannis on a Tuesday night. Attendance said there was a little over 1,400 here a night ago.
Yeah, a really cool setup here.
Yeah. McKeon Park's been a cool place. We've enjoyed it.
2-2 to Post from the windup. That catches the low part of the zone. 92-mile-per-hour fastball finishes the bottom of the second. Jake Bennett calmly walks back to the dugout. After allowing one in the bottom of the first, he allows none in the bottom of the second. The Braves will have the bats in their hands in the top of the third, and Nick Goodwin will start things off. The Braves looking to answer to a 1-0 deficit. The top of the third, we have arrived. Nick Goodwin will start things off. And Reeves Jackson will bring it to you. Reeves, not the start Jake Bennett wanted, but the answer to it that we wanted in the bottom of the second. Jake Bennett looked like he was just getting a bit more comfortable after the first pitch was hit. I believe that was Mann who grazed his shoulder, but we're here at the top of the third, and we're going to have to score one run at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't win a game when you don't score, obviously. No. But Jake Bennett showed a little bit of unluckiness. Obviously, the pitch barely grazed Mann on the sleeve, but nice job by rushing to help him out. Nick Goodwin is the designated hitter tonight. Good to see him back in the lineup after a few days of hiatus, as the first pitch from Scalano is a fastball up in the zone, but a called strike. 0-1. Goodwin, Moylan, and Schobel, the three due up for the Braves, bottom of the order. As a beautiful breaking ball right there from Scalaro, excuse me. It's a called strike, 0-2. He's been quite impressive so far, Daniel, through the first now 7 hitters as he's against Goodwin. 0-2. Off-speed pitch. Goodwin shoots it over to second. One hopper into the glove of Romano and fires it over to Zane Harris. A nice play by Romano, backtracking into the shallow outfield grass. 1 down.
A semi-weekly hit ball from Nick Goodwin, who's coming in batting .314, but good to see him just get the barrel of the bat on the ball and trust those hands. Joshua Moylan, who's taking over for usually Dalton Rushing's duties at first, will step in. And the lefty has really caught rhythm as of late.
As he takes a first pitch breaking ball called strike. I think you made a good point, though, in the first inning, Daniel, when you mentioned that with the absence of Colton Bender now, Dalton Rushing is going to have to step up at the plate as that breaking ball back-to-back. This one misses, though, 1-1. That's going to force Dalton Rushing to start having to catch likely every other game to spell Peter Burns, which means Josh Moylan's going to see a lot more time at first base on a more consistent basis as he pops this one foul over the screen behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Josh Moylan.
2 RBIs, and both of them came in the same piece of hitting. He slapped it over to the third base shortstop area, and it just wasn't able to be fielded by the infielders, and he does it on the right side here.
Moylan once again bounces over to Romano. Back-to-back chances for Ryan Romano, the second baseman for Hyannis, and 2 consecutive plays for him, and there's 2 down.
No hits so far for the Braves in the top of the third. They're facing 2 outs. Number 27, Tanner Schobel, who I would love to really see have the day that Colby Thomas have. Of course, I'd love to see anyone have that type of day. But Tanner Schobel's been a bit quiet recently. He's coming in to this game from Virginia Tech, often seen at the 9 spot.
Schobel takes a first pitch fastball at 89, called strike. And Schobel is 0 for his last 8, Daniel. So, yes, looking to trying to break out of a little bit of a slow stretch at the plate as he watches this fastball miss high and a little bit away. 1-1 the count. But before that stretch, Schobel had an impressive showing against the Catuit Kettleers. He had 2 singles up the middle. That was the game, though, where the Braves were shut out 2-0 at Doran Park. 1-1 breaking ball. That is A beautiful off-speed pitch there from Scolaro. He has looked impressive against these Braves hitters the first time through the order.
Tanner Schobel's batting 8 for 30 coming into the game. He has 5 RBIs, 1 homer. That one came at Brewster. But he's often taken the role of the 9-spot hitter and sends it up to the leadoff hitter. And Christian Knapczyk, who is a new arrival at the top.
Off-speed pitch there from Scolaro that misses in the dirt. And the count runs even here to Tanner Schobel. Braves still looking to get on the board with their first hit of the night here in the top of the third. 8 up and 8 down so far for Scolaro. His 2-2. Fastball almost went to the backstop. Good snag there by a Proto. Catcher behind the dish for the Harbor Hawks tonight.
Scolaro's just been throwing strikes. 29 strikes, 13 balls in the first 3 innings. And that's why he's gotten or made quick work of the Braves.
As Schobel's going to loft this one into shallow center. Out goes Romano. In comes Rose, and that is going to fall in for a bloop single for Tanner Schobel. The Braves get on the board with their first hit here in the third, and it'll send things to the top of the order in Christian Knapczyk.
Perfectly placed that ball. Wasn't necessarily, I'm sure, the pace that he wanted coming off the bat, but it was in the perfect spot right over the head of Romano, and nothing that either Rose in center or Elliott in right could do about it.
We'll take that with 2 down as Knapczyk into the box now. Braves looking to potentially tie this game up with some 2-out magic. Knapczyk squares around a bunt, but pulls it back. It's a fastball inside, called a ball.
Knapczyk struck out in his last at-bat along with Max Anderson. The second look at Scolaro, and often that's what does it for the Braves to get back on track.
Knapczyk laces this one into center. Right at Rose. It dives on him a little bit, but he makes the catch, and that will end the inning. So the Braves get their first hit on a Tanner Schobel bloop single to center. Knapczyk lines out hard. The next at-bat right at Caden Rose, and it'll be Jake Bennett back on the mound as we head to the bottom of the third from McKeon Park with the Braves trailing 1-0. Happy to have you back with us on a cloudy, overcast night at McKeon Park with the lights on. A little foggy at the top of those light poles as Jake Bennett back on the mound. First pitch fastball called strike to the 9-hole hitter, the lefty in the batter's box, number 28, the left fielder Mitchell Hardigan. Swinging a gray barrel bat with the ash handle. As that fastball there at 90 from Bennett misses away.
That's Bennett's 20th pitch of the day. So the Harbor Hawks have taken advantage when they've seen a hittable ball from Bennett, but
he's been efficient.
Yeah.
Jinx to you, sir, as a breaking ball is swung on and missed by Hardigan. Good pitch right there. Hardigan from Jupiter, Florida, by way of Florida Atlantic University. 8 for 48 here in the CCBL in 2021. His last hit coming July 8th against Orleans at an 11-6 loss. As he skies this one out into right center. Will it be Wallace or Thomas? It'll be Colby Thomas who calls off Caden at the last moment and snags it one away.
Colby Thomas is often seen at left field, but he's moving to his left, going to center field, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the first time that we've seen him out there at center?
It's the second time.
Second
time. Joe
So-
Lampe had another day off, and Colby was out there in
So
center.
he is the replacement for Joe Lampe when he has an off day, but Colby Thomas is a true outfielder, and he proved that early on this season with those 2 dives in left field, almost identical plays.
He sure did. A first pitch changeup, and boy, it was a beauty here to Caden Rose. Rose is trying to right the ship after a tough afternoon yesterday. He went 0 for 5. He struck out twice, both bookend strikeouts. He squares to bunt here, but a beautiful fastball from Bennett at 92. Rose pulled back. It's a called strike. Eric Adler took care of Caden Rose as the final out in last night's affair. A 6-3 Bravos W. That was fueled by that man in center in Colby Thomas. 0-2 from Bennett. Spins one off here, but it misses low.
Jake Bennett was the top-ranked left-handed pitcher coming out of high school in Oklahoma back in 2019. He was drafted by the Nationals in the 39th round.
A changeup takes care of Caden Rose. He's struck out twice today. His woes continue of late. And here against the Bourne Braves in the past 2 games, 0 for his last 7 with 4 strikeouts. 2 nights, at least for now, that he'd like to not remember. As a guy that would like to remember his past few at-bats and past few nights is Clark Elliott. He singled and scored the first run of the game off of a Zane Harris double back in the first. Elliott 3 for 4 against the Braves here in these past 2 games thus far. And breaking ball had him swinging out of his shoes right there, 0-1. Daniel, you have the exciting opportunity of going up in the WEEI booth. They're here tonight for the game of the week. Although they're doing a few games this week with the All-Star Weekend, but you get to go up in the 5th inning and talk to, is it John? Are you talking to Mr. Who are you talking to?
I believe it was Mr. Garner.
Yes, John Garner. Okay.
Who's
That's
the
what I
head
thought.
of broadcasting for, the director of broadcasting for the Cape Cod League. I actually had him on to our audio stream here on YouTube in the game of the week in Cotuit at Lowell Park. We talked a little bit about the resurgence of the Cape League after a year off.
Ooh, 0-2. That got Clark Elliott right on the hands. And he'll walk down to first. And unlike the hit batsman to Luke Mann, this one did indeed get Clark Elliott flush. They do appeal down to the field umpire at second, and no, Clark Elliott did not go around. That would be quite the trip for him if he had to go back to the batter's box after getting nailed on the hands, but he won't. He'll make the trip to first instead, and the Harbor Hawks have a runner on.
The second hit by pitch that a Hyannis Harbor Hawk has had to deal with. So we're getting free Harbor Hawks on base here, so Jake Bennett just has to relax. Maybe he seems more comfortable actually pitching from the stretch, which is something funny, especially for a starter. But
yeah, he has thus far tonight, as this one is skied into shallow center. Colby Thomas on the way in, routine for him. He makes the catch, and 1 pitch to Kyle Ball takes care of business for the Braves here in the bottom of the 3rd. They'll try to get the bats going and get on the board, trailing 1-0 as we head to the 4th. The ever-hot Max Anderson will get us started here in the top of the fourth, where Jonah Scolaro from Florida State, the lefty, dealing here in the early going as Anderson fouls off a first-pitch fastball back into the padded backstop here. Not many backstops in the Cape have the bricks surrounding our park at Doran does, and here at Hyannis they do as well. And I believe at Orleans, the other park. 0-1. Anderson watches that off-speed pitch dive in the dirt. 1-1.
Yeah, it's a great-looking field. We mentioned it yesterday, but we think it's deceptively longer than it really is. According to the numbers that we see, I believe that's 315 to the left field foul pole. Swing and a miss from Max Anderson off a breaking ball, 81 miles per hour. But, you know, we saw 2 homers yesterday, one by Colby Thomas and the other by Pendleton. So it does have the ability to be taken over.
Anderson chases a pitch at his head. Fastball retires him. And 1 down here. Anderson's second strikeout of the afternoon.
Yeah, how about Scolaro, though? He's only let up 1 hit, and that was to Tanner Schobel, which was a blooper that just got over the glove of Romano in right center. So he has been pitching brilliantly thus far.
Dalton Rushing steps in, 3-hole hitter today, and cuts through a fastball. Braves can't catch up to Jonas Scolaro's fastball right now. The breaking ball has been a little bit more inconsistent as far as him being able to throw it for consistent strikes. But the fastball has been there, and that's been his bread and butter here so far. 0-1 to Rushing. There is a beautiful breaking ball that dives, and Rushing swings over the top of it. 0-2.
10-mile-per-hour difference between fastball and breaking ball. That's just enough to get a batter out of their shoes.
8 of the 10 teams in action tonight around the Cape League. Rushing watches that one miss downstairs in the dirt as Yarmouth Dennis is in Brewster to take on the Whitecaps. They're leading 4-2. Katuitt is at Harwich, scoreless in the first, and yet to get underway, Falmouth and Orleans. 1-2 in Rushing, skies this one into shallow center. Caden Rose comes in, makes the catch, and quickly 2 away.
Yeah, the top of the order really hasn't gotten it together. Even last game from yesterday, they didn't do it either. Braylon Wimmer flew out to Caden Rose back in the second inning. He has an opportunity here in the top of the fourth. But the top of the order has been something that's been changing as of late for Harvey Shapiro.
Braylon Wimmer has kind of found his home in the cleanup spot, at least for now, and he sends a drive into pretty deep center. Caden Rose is back. It should stay in the park, and does. Wimmer flies out to deep center, just shy of the warning track, and the Braves go in order in their half of the fourth. It'll be Jake Bennett back out there for the bottom of the fourth. His pitch count is low. He's been efficient, and we look forward to getting him back out there. Reeves Jackson, Daniel Coates back with you here from McKeon Park in just a moment. Reeves Jackson and Daniel Coates back with you here from McKeon Park, bottom of the fourth, as The man who did the damage, the only damage of the game so far back in the first, is going to step up to the plate in the form of the big 260-pound left-handed hitting first baseman Zane Harris, who roped a double over the head of Caden Wallace that brought home Clark Elliott. As now he chops over to second, Knapczyk gets a friendly hop and tosses over to Josh Moylan. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, that's as easy as it gets, not just for Jake Bennett, but also for Christian Knapczyk. He just has to charge a ball that was right at his shoulder. He snags it and flicks it from the shoulder over to Joshua Moylan for a quick out, number 1. And Ryan Romano coming in for the Harbor Hawks here. Leads an average with a 222 average. In his last appearance, he grounded to Max Anderson at third.
Takes a first pitch fastball at 88. Called strike here to Romano. That end of the first inning when he bounced out over to Anderson. Beat him by about half a step. It was a close play. It was nice change up there from Bennett, changing it up right there, and it's 0-2. Swing and a miss.
Like you said, Reeves, a good crowd here, and not just for the Harbor Hawks, but also for our Bourne faithful on the road.
Indeed it is. And he did go. It's a bunt attempt that the home plate umpire said Ryan Romano offered at. He is looking confused, but Daniel, I do indeed thought that he went around. I don't think he pulled back in time by the time the pitch crossed the plate. I thought the home plate umpire made a good call.
I think that's an absolute no-doubter. He was completely attempting at that ball. As it was crossing the plate, he still had the bunt out there. And I know the Hyannis coach is going to argue this, but I see, from our vantage point, nothing wrong with the call by the home plate umpire.
And the call will stand despite a attempted argument from the first base coach for Hyannis, as the left-handed hitting Luke Mann, who was what you could call grazed by a pitch on the jersey on a breaking ball from Bennett on the first pitch of his first at-bat, will step in. Bennett hoping for better results this time around. And he gets him to swing through 92 on the inner half.
A big pitcher versus a big batter, and that was a big swing right there. It is chilly. I told Reeves I just got the quarter zip on, and Hyannis is not offering any high temps as of late.
I promise it'll get better from here as the breaking ball misses downstairs. They'll appeal down to third. Daniel, I brought my sweatshirt tonight, but I guess lucky enough for myself, I don't really feel cold tonight. You saw last night I had the chills all over my arm, and tonight I feel pretty good, at least for now. It's the humidity. Definitely a little sticky out here. 1-1. Beautiful breaking ball there from Jake Bennett to the lefty man, and now Bennett is 1 pitch away from getting through 4 innings with allowing just 2 hits and 1 run, with both of those coming in the first inning. Bennett winds and deals and swing and a miss. It was dropped by rushing a fastball. He pops out of the squat and pops over to Josh Moylan to finish off Luke Mann. So back-to-back strikeouts ends the 4th for Jake Mann. Bourne will bat in the 5th, where I'll be joined by Chris Corso. Daniel, is it the top of the 5th or the bottom of the 5th?
I believe right now.
All right. Well, Daniel, you have fun up at WEI, and we'll be right back with Chris right here on the Bourne Braves audio YouTube live stream. Back with you here from McKeon Park, top of the 5th. Reeves Jackson now joined here by special guest Chris Corso. Chris, great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I believe we had you on earlier in the season on one of the Cape Cod games of the week. So now I'm filling in on the Bourne broadcast.
Yeah, get to do it to you now.
I love it.
First pitch strike here to Caden Wallace. Second pitch here from Scolaro is taken upstairs. How about Jonas Scolaro so far? He is dealing against this Braves offense that has been hot of late.
It's been unbelievable. I love the left-hander as a left-hander myself. To see his little mix of a fastball and a breaking ball, he really looks like he has some stuff that could really play at the next level.
Fastball misses upstairs right there. Chris, now you work for the Minnesota Vikings, so tell our audience about what you do with Minnesota and how you got to the position that you're in now.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been doing digital media and radio production and content for the Vikings. I host a lot of our podcasts and weeknight radio shows, and really love telling our players' stories throughout the season. And my wife's family is from the Bourne area, so I've been here this summer celebrating a wedding, so a wedding of my own. So it's been a good summer to be back here on the Cape, cover these games, do a little remote work for the Vikings and until training camp, and when training camp starts up in early August, I'll be back in the Twin Cities, so it's crazy.
Staying busy,
Staying
safe to
busy,
say.
yep.
Well, congratulations to you and your wife, and as Caden Wallace goes down swinging, beautiful breaking ball right there from Scolaro. He is dicing up this Braves lineup here as we are now in the top of the 5th inning as last night's hero, Colby Thomas, 3 for 4 with 6 runs driven in, including a homer, triple, and a double. He struck out swinging in his first trip up to the plate. So, Chris, I guess it's safe to say, Bourne Brave at heart?
I have to be a Bourne Brave at heart. My wife's family is all from the Bourne area. They live right up the street from your home field. So
okay.
It's been awesome to be around here, work the league, and see this record-setting season so far. It's been really fun to watch, man.
It's been unbelievable. First pitch upstairs that Thomas swung at as the next pitch, a breaking ball called strike, outer half.
I have to say, I liked the leadoff hitter I've seen, the left-hander, Josh Lampe. I like the way he swings the bat. I know he's not playing tonight out of Arizona State, but I really like the way that guy plays.
As Thomas fouls this one back out, we were talking before we went on the air, obviously, you and I, and we were talking about Lampe's his hot start to the season. Obviously, it leads this Bourne team in hits, and unfortunately, he's down in the lineup tonight, getting an off day as the Braves going with the outfield trio of Wimmer, Wallace, and Thomas. Thomas in the middle out in center as he watches a breaking ball just miss. Scolaro thought he had rung him up there. But, Chris, your time with WEEI this summer, tell us about that experience and how that's been.
Yeah, it's been really great just working for John Gardner and Larry Egan. They've been doing this stuff for almost 3 decades, I believe. So I haven't given up on the dream to do color and some live games as we see a strikeout there. Another strikeout for the left-hander.
My goodness.
Yeah, man, I've really enjoyed being able to get back to doing baseball games. Baseball is my favorite sport. Love working in the NFL, but, I just get brought back to the diamond, I think.
Absolutely. It draws you back. It always does.
It does, man. That's for sure. And just seeing a left-hander out on the mound today, being a left-handed pitcher myself back in high school, it just brings you back, man. It brings you back.
It sure does. In steps Nick Goodwin, tonight's DH. He bounced out to second and takes a first pitch fastball high.
Yeah, Reeves, we were talking about Josh Lampe before, and I think it was the first game I met you guys out at Falmouth. I think he had like 3 or 4 hits,
yeah,
a couple RBIs, making plays in center field.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, and right from that game, I think the other game we worked with you guys over in Cotuit, I think he had another couple RBIs and a couple hits. So quickly liked his game, the leadoff hitter on the squad.
1-1 call to strike inside. And obviously, with so many teams losing so many valuable players, obviously now that the MLB draft finishing up today with rounds 11 through 20, this is the Braves pitching staff that lost a few of their top arms, but obviously keeping a guy like Lampe and a lot of their lineup stays the same, which will help this team as, how about that? 1, 2, 3 just struck out the side in order. Did Jonas Scolaro. His impressive afternoon continues. But, Chris, well, you staying around here for the bottom?
It's up to you, man. It's up to you. You want me to stay?
Yeah, stay around. Stay around. Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Well, we'll go to a quick break, and when we are back, we'll talk more here with Chris Corso of WEEI right here after this. Reeves Jackson back here as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still here with Chris Corso. Jake Bennett back on the mound as he delivers a first pitch strike here to Ryan Proto. A battle of the lefties, and they are both having their way with these opposing offenses. Bennett obviously gave up the 2 hits, including the double to Zane Harris, but outside of that, has been perfect. Other than a few hit by pitches, this one bounced over to Anderson. That bounces off his glove and ricochets away. It should go as an E5 on Anderson, as Proto will be aboard at first.
Yeah, I have to tell you, Reeves, I mean, the guy on the mound right here for Bourne, Bennett, he's about 6'6", and Scolaro's only 5'8", 5'9". A little bit difference in height, but other than that, they've been pretty similar in their approach thus far.
Now, obviously traveling around with WEEI, Chris, you get to go to a lot of these fields. If you had to pick 1 or 2, what have been your favorites so far?
Chatham.
Yeah,
Chatham
that's that was the consensus among our media team as well. It was beautiful. We went there for the first time the other night, and we'll be there on July 24th for their military appreciation night, in which they're doing a helicopter flyover. So we're excited about going back there. But yeah, Veterans Field is beautiful. Obviously, the town of Chatham is kind of one of a kind.
Reeves, I have to tell you, that Chatham Field and just seeing all the fans that sit up there on the hill in right field, and being a Yankee fan myself, a New Yorker, seeing the Thurman Munson little memorial that they have there, being a former Chatham angler, I think hitting above 400 for them. That's my father's favorite player, so that field has to win for me. Definitely Veterans Field.
Yeah, Thurman Munson, talk about the lore of the Cape Cod League. One of the first names that comes to mind. As Dylan Poe steps in, a 1-0 count to him. Watch the first one miss outside and fouls this one back over the screen. A ball and a strike.
Reeves, the director of broadcasting here, John Garner, he's like a Cape Cod history book.
Oh, my gosh. I've heard that you could ask him anything, and he would reiterate whatever he needed to know.
He throws out the Thurman Munson over 400 statistics, and the rivalry between him and Carlton Fisk actually starting here in the Cape Cod League rather than Yankees-Red Sox. So that's a pretty cool thing to know.
1-1. This one lined into left. Braylon Wimmer backs up a step and makes the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. Talk about what it's been like with John Garner and getting to pick his brain and kind of learning from him.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. I've been around a little bit and done some internships in the MLB and the NHL, and now obviously working in the NFL, but really never got the chance to get my my chops in play-by-play and do some color. So doing podcasts and radio during the week is a lot different, and it's been really great to learn from a guy like John.
Another lefty here in Mitchell Hardigan, and cuts through a Bennett fastball at 91. Got Jake Bennett's family here in attendance today, so pretty special for them to be able to see their son on the mound.
I have to say, Bennett really looks like he has a frame of an MLB player at 6'6".
Yeah.
Throwing absolute heat from the left-handed side.
This breaking ball grounded through the hole on the right side. Wallace fields it in right, bobbles it for a second, and now heading to third here is Proto, and Wallace will chuck it over to Anderson, but not in time. So a miscue out and right by Caden Wallace, the Arkansas product. And now the Harbor Hawks threatening again here, this time in the 5th with runners on the corners. Bennett not getting a lot of help from his defense here this half inning.
Yeah, that's for sure. You don't really see that too often from a right fielder, especially from the Bourne Braves this year, but he bobbled the ball a little bit, and that allowed the runner to go from first to third, which you don't see very often there when the ball's hit right in front of him.
And Chris, obviously getting to work with Larry Egan as well, and talk about, you know, that experience as well with Larry and obviously John as well, but the combination of them both.
Yeah, Reeves, I have to tell you, Larry is such a good play-by-play guy. He sets up all the equipment. He has the connection to WEI, and it's just been unbelievable with just to watch the way he works, and I can't believe he hasn't taken this career anywhere else other than the Cape Cod League. I know he's a loyal Cape Codder. He has a few businesses here, but Larry is an unbelievable play-by-play guy, and it's been great to learn from him.
On the move here is Hardigan. Rushing won't bother. And now the double play possibility eliminated. Second and third here for Hyannis. So outside of the Braves, obviously at first in the Cape at 12-2-3, who are some other teams that have caught your eye as far as the talent level and teams that could really, I guess, maybe rival Bourne as far as potential playoff teams that could give a shot as this one first. Chop to Anderson. He's going to go to the plate with it. And now here they have Proto in a rundown. And rushing tags him out up the third base line. A big play there by Anderson. Redeems himself for that error and tosses out Proto at the plate. And a big second out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, I think I was talking to you guys earlier, and for the game in Chatham, I saw the shortstop on YD of the YD Red Sox, the Oklahoma product, Peyton Graham. He was batting leadoff for those guys, and I'm really looking at the players that catch my eye. Lampy being one of them for Bourne, and I saw Graham, the way he played short, the way he was able to really make a ton of plays on the defensive side of the ball, but also his bat, man. I mean, that guy is a long-bodied shortstop, middle infielder who can really, I mean, you'll see it at Oklahoma, but he's quite the hitter over there with YD.
As Clark Elliott, an excuse-me swing, and bounces it foul up the first base line. Obviously now the CCBL getting the influx of some of the Vanderbilt and Mississippi State players now in after their bout in the College Baseball World Series final. As some players obviously go into the draft, but you know, sometimes it's tough for teams to try to find replacements for these players that get drafted. Obviously the Braves, as we were talking about, Chris, lost 4 pitchers, lost a catcher as well, so they've only been able to replace one of those pitchers thus far. So
Crazy.
It's tough for some of these teams to replace these players as this pitch catches the outside corner. Good breaking ball from Bennett, 0-2.
Yeah, Reeves, we were talking about that earlier. It's unbelievable how many players come in and out of this league so fast. They find out they get drafted this week, and they're out of here. So Team USA, you're out of here. It's just unbelievable. There's so much talent in this league, and some guys are only here for a few days, a few weeks.
Fastball, good spot that Dalton Rushing liked, but misses just a bit outside, 1-2. And then obviously here in the Western Division, obviously with Hyannis in the basement, Bourne at the top, but really looking right now maybe a 2-team battle for the second playoff spot between Wareham and Catuit. Falmouth not far behind, but the Kettleers and the Gatemen are 2 teams that have been battling it out all year. Is this an infield pop fly to second? Christian Knapczyk is under it, calls it off, and makes the catch. So Jake Bennett works out of trouble, gets some help from his defense after a few errors to begin the inning, and the Harbor Hawks go scoreless here in the bottom of the fifth. Chris, it was great having you on, and best of luck to you in everything that you do with WEEI and with the Vikings and in your continued success in your career.
Reeves, I appreciate it. It was great to hop on with you guys for the hometown Bourne
Absolutely.
Braves, man. I love it. I'll be around. Hopefully I'll be able to join you again this season.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. I'd love to have you on more.
Definitely stay in touch, man.
All right, Chris, appreciate it. Take care. We'll be right back here from McKeon Park as we head to the top of the sixth. Reeves Jackson, now welcome back, Daniel Coates, after your time up in the booth with WEEI. We'll definitely get to that and talk about that here in just a minute. But first, Daniel, I want to send things back over to you for play-by-play.
Thank you, Reeves. It's good to be back down from the press box. Joshua Moylan chops one down the first base line, then gets past the second baseman Romano for a base hit to start things off here in the top of the sixth.
against the big new lefty Austin Wallace as the 6'4", 210-pound lefty. I think that is the best thing the Braves have seen all day long, to get Scolaro out of the game. He finished off his final 3 hitters, Daniel, by striking out the side in order, all swinging, Wallace, Thomas, Goodwin. But the Braves get a leadoff single off the University of Texas lefty.
He checks back over to first base. Joshua Moylan dives back, but it was
How was WE?
It was a pleasure being up there. It was a very quick inning. How about the Braves getting out of that situation? Jake Bennett just
somehow
buckling down and somehow getting out of it. Showing bunt, pulling back though. Tanner Schobel with a called strike.
Wow, did not think that Schobel went around there, and Harvey Shapiro is going to ask about that, because I thought for sure that Tanner Schobel pulled that bunt back, and Harvey Shapiro is not going to be kind about that at all.
I figured that it hit the zone because it was so outside, but they say that Tanner Schobel showed the entire way. Joshua Moylan jumps back after another check from the pitcher here.
Yeah, but I was going to say that obviously Anderson made the error to begin the inning, but then made an outstanding play to gun down Proto at the plate.
Wallace's pitch low and outside, 85 miles per hour in the dirt. 1-1. Joshua Moylan gave him a fine introduction with a first pitch single between the first baseman and the second baseman for the Harbor Hawks. Top 6. The Hawks still lead 1-0. Fastball in the inner half for strike number 2, 1-2. So not the most velocity we've seen, but it's getting the job done. 1-2 against the 9-spot hitter, Tanner Schobel, in the top of the order, Christian Knapczyk on deck. Another check, Joshua Moylan. I've never seen Moylan get so much respect on the base path as far as speed, but hey, we'll take it. And I think Moylan's actually laughing over there to himself as well. 1-2 off-speed pitch misses far outside, 2-2.
Yeah, Schobel was thinking about offering there for a minute. But yeah, Daniel had a great conversation down here with Mr. Chris Corso as well, talking a lot about Bourne and the Cape in general.
That one catches the inner half. Tanner Schobel jumped back, but it connected with the zone, so the first out by Austin Wallace comes at the hands of a looking Tanner Schobel. Christian Knapczyk, who is 0 for 2 on the day, steps in from Louisville. Not often seen at the top of the order, but he is today. He has a man on first, Joshua Moylan. Austin Wallace dealing from the stretch. That one drifts inside for ball 1, 1-0. And, Mr. Corso will be heading to Minnesota. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah, we
but
did. We talked about that.
We'll be working for the Vikings. I took his spot, and it's like a tag team. He's now back up in the booth for WEEI. Breaking ball again, misses outside. 2-0 to Christian Knapczyk.
Yeah, he gave the praises of, sang the praises of Larry Egan as well, the WEEI play-by-play broadcaster, a local Cape person who owns a few businesses here. So him and John Garner are all about what Cape baseball represents as far as the communications and broadcast side of the game.
3-0 after a fastball misses low and outside. I'm sure Christian Knapczyk will be taking one out in the top of the 6th. Moylan on first, right down the pipe with a fastball, 86 miles per hour. From the Texas Longhorn, Austin Wallace, who's dealing from the stretch ever since his first pitch. Moylan checked again by Austin, and it's a
the ultimate sign of respect.
Ultimate sign of respect. It's a 3-1 count. And that fastball misses outside for ball number 4 on a 3-1 count. Austin Wallace puts his second man on base for the Bourne Braves. Not the guy I want at the plate with 2 men on base, and that is Max Anderson. He struck out twice today. Very uncharacteristic, but yesterday he's coming off a multi-hit game. That's his 6th of the season. Max digs in. Off-speed pitch drops too low for ball number 1, and Proto from the UMass Lowell going out to have a word with the new pitcher.
Daniel, I've heard all about UMass, the different UMasses.
Yes.
There's Dartmouth, There's Amherst. What is Lowell?
UMass Lowell it's up way north
Okay.
by New Hampshire. It's
Okay.
by the New Hampshire border. Known for their hockey team.
Okay.
They give Boston College a run for their money, that's
Got it.
for sure. But UMass Lowell, UMass Dartmouth, UMass Amherst, UMass Boston.
Okay. So multiple campuses.
1-0 is low. But yes, so UMass Lowell is as far north as you're going to go in Massachusetts. And Proto is a product. They are the Riverhawks. No, UMass Lowell Riverhawks. I believe that's it. Oh, yeah. 2-0. That's a first strike. Low and outside. It catches the zone, and Max Anderson passes on it. 2-1 count. Christian Knapchek walked. He's at first. Joshua Moylan at second, and it is the Riverhawks. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
2-1 high fly ball that's underneath. Romano is there, just past the infield for out number 2. A pop fly for Max Anderson is out number 2. Dalton rushing with a man in scoring position and a man on first. Joshua Moylan leading the way. But the Braves again struggling at the plate. They only have 2 hits on the day. That was from Joshua Moylan in this half inning. And Tanner Schobel back in the third.
Yeah, how about Jonas Scolaro? 5 innings of 1 hit, 7 strikeout ball. Shut the Braves order down.
That breaking ball drops right into the zone. 0-1, I should say, a 72-mile-per-hour pitch.
Yeah, a little bit different than Scolaro's, was more upper 70s on his breaking pitch. Fastball
Wallace.
is a little faster for Wallace as far as velocity goes.
And Wallace is delivering from the stretch this entire time, other than the first pitch, of course. That was to Joshua Moylan. He took it right in the gap between the first and second baseman here. Another breaking ball drops too low, though. 1-1 on deck is Braylon Wimmer. A foggy, overcast, and a bit chilly here. A bit chilly day at McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts. Another ball low. It was a fastball, though, 2-1. Dalton rushing, one of the premier batters on this team, Reeves.
Yeah, he really is. Dalton rushing second on the team in average now. Max Anderson surpassed him after a multi-hit game yesterday. Him and rushing, though, will be trading places all year, I assume. As far as the team leaders and hits, Joe Lampe up there, obviously Knapchek as well. This is a lineup filled with talent potentials. The breaking ball misses now 3-1 to the big Louisville Cardinal, who they saw their teammate go #1 overall in the draft in Henry Davis.
And a Bourne Brave.
And a Bourne Brave.
3-1. Low and outside for ball number 4. Austin Wallace really struggling with his accuracy here now. I wonder if they're going to get a mound visit. There is action in the bullpen for the Harbor Hawks. A bases-loaded situation, but it's coming with 2 outs and only 1 to play with. Braylon Wimmer will be the man looking for some RBIs.
This is a big situation for the Braves here. Obviously, now in the 6th, need to start pushing some runs across here with 2 down.
Off-speed pitch, low and outside in the dirt, ball 1.
Deciding to go with the first pitch changeup here against Wimmer. Dove down. They're going to get a visit from the Hyannis staff here with a guy warming up in the bullpen here, Daniel. We'll see what they do here.
We'll see what they do. We'll be back in just a few moments to see if Austin Wallace will remain on the mound for the Harbor Hawks or if there will be a new Harbor Hawk coming from the left field bullpen. A quick visit from the Hyannis Harbor Hawks coach. A 1-0 count to Braylon Wimmer in a bases-loaded situation. 2 outs, top of the 6th. The delivery fouled right back into the net. 1-1 now. And again, this is an opportunity where the Braves would be incredibly disappointed if they didn't come out with some runs, especially in a game that they're trailing just 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially here in the 6th. Only down by a run, so not too much pressure.
High fly ball foul over the Bourne Braves dugout. 1-2 now, and just like that after a mound visit, 2 strikes for Austin Wallace. Whatever his coach said seems to be working.
Yeah, just needed to settle him down and fix a few mechanical issues possibly, or even just take a mental break out there, and he's firing strikes here to Wimmer.
Joshua Moylan at third, behind him Knapczyk. Breaking ball hits over the plate. That's going to be a ball, 2-2. A good stop from Proto behind the plate. The Riverhawk, as we just confirmed, from UMass Lowell. 2-2 with 2 outs. Caden Wallace on deck. Rushing on first, Knapczyk on second, Moylan on third. Braylon Wimmer, the Gamecock, in the batter's box, 2-2. Hard hit line, drive down the right field line, drifting foul, though. It was running parallel to the right field line and started slicing out of play at the very last second. It's the type of contact you want, though. He got on the right side of it, as Kevin Graber would say.
Yes. Shooting it up.
Batting practice, yeah. The 2-2. That one's out inside for ball number 3. 3-2 now, and a payoff pitch coming. And with Austin Wallace, who has not been throwing strikes, this could be a scenario where we knot things up. I wonder how Braylon Wimmer is going to attack this pitch. 3-2, payoff pitch from Wallace, time called.
Yeah, we have a merry-go-round here, Daniel. All the runners going to be off with the pitch.
Wallace from the stretch. The delivery. Inside chopper, down the third base line, fielded cleanly by Mann. Can he beat it? No, he cannot. Braylon Wimmer gets caught at first. The throw from Mann beat him, and a chopper in a bases-loaded situation cannot be capitalized on. The Bourne Braves leave 3 on the base path. That will do it for the top of the 6th, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks continue to hold a 1-0 lead at home, defending home turf at McKeon Park. Cold Shadoba originally from Assumption, transferring to UConn, will take over for Jake Bennett. In the bottom of the 6th, the Harbor Hawks lead 1-0, and the Braves, who only have 2 hits on the day, left 3 base runners stranded at the top of the 6th. The delivery from Chidoba. Check swing, foul back into the right side of the net.
Yeah, Chidoba has quite possibly been the best reliever on this team outside of Eric Adler and Tristan Vreeling on the season. Making his 4th appearance across 7 innings, has not allowed a run. Has just allowed 2 hits on the year. He's been shut down.
0-1 turns to 1-1. Fastball low and outside. This is to Kyle Ball, the shortstop. He popped out to second in the 1st, flew out to center in the 3rd. He digs in here with a 1-1 count to the UConn transfer. That fastball drifts high, 92. Good pace for the reliever. Dalton Rushing looking comfortable back there behind the plate. 2-1. Breaking ball, taken to left field. Going back is Braylon Wimmer. Will it stay in? Right on the warning track. Braylon Wimmer shuts it down. 1 out and done the hard way. Cole Chidoba finishes off Kyle Ball. That's an F7, and it looked like it might have been a homer to left field like we saw from Pendleton last night.
Yeah, that was Caleb Pendleton's first hit of the season last night. A ball that was demolished into the trees beyond the left field wall out there. Another guy that can demolish a baseball at any given moment is Zane Harris.
Zane Harris had that double earlier on this game. Big cut and a big miss. 0-1 off a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Back in the 1st inning, he had a double and scored Clark Elliott. Chidoba with the 0-1, now 1-1 in the dirt. Of course, the famous light blue glove that he holds. You know every time he's on the mound. 1-1 with 1 out, bottom of the 6th. High fly ball, it's in foul territory, in behind the net, into the crowd here at McKeon Park. But something that I mentioned and was rare to see was a miscue from our 3rd baseman, Max Anderson, that gave Harbor Hawks more opportunities back in the bottom of the 5th. Obviously, they didn't capitalize on it, but a rare mistake from our 3rd baseman, Max Anderson.
Yeah, but obviously he came back at the end of that inning and made up for it by making a nice play and delivering a strike to Rushing, in which it was funny because Proto reached on the air, and then Proto was thrown out at the plate by Max Anderson. So a good job. Obviously, you don't want any errors, and obviously Caden Wallace had a little bit of an issue in right, which allowed the runner in Proto to go to 3rd.
2-2 bounces across the plate. 3-2. Dalton Rushing smothering that one with no one on. Full count, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Zane Harris responsible for the solo RBI here for either teams. Cole Chidoba with the second batter faced here. Full count and a payoff pitch. High fly ball again. That's going to be out of play. And it will stay at 3-2. Zane Harris is the first baseman for the Harbor Hawks. He had a laser of a double back in the 1st. Resulted in Elliott rounding 3rd and scoring. And that's a breaking ball high. That one gets it behind Dalton Rushing. I think it's a strikeout. Going to 1st, Rushing can't get the throw aligned. And Joshua Moylan, I should say, had to jump off the bag at 1st. So a strikeout, but making it to 1st base is Zane Harris, and that is a really tough break for the Bourne Braves.
And now they're going to talk and see if this was a foul ball, because Chidoba, and I thought he got it off the bat and tipped it. I was surprised to see, when I went back to the net, I was like, oh, okay, foul ball. Surprised to see that he didn't make contact. We'll see what the umpires are gathering here right around the pitcher's mound. Chidoba and Rushing thought it was also foul-tipped.
I really thought it either hit him or was a foul ball because it just seemed like a complete misdirection.
Wow.
They call it safe and nothing changes. Harris again makes it to first. So he has a double. He struck out just there, and it's his second appearance on the base path for the Harbor Hawks, so only one out.
Yeah, home plate umpires had a bit of a rough day behind the plate, I'd say. There's been a few calls. The Schobel bunt attempt. And even for Hyannis, they had a strike 3 call on, I forget who it was, on one of our hitters. Pitch looked perfect. It's called a ball.
Romano swinging and missing. Inside fastball, 91 on the gun. Zane Harris taking over first, but that is a mistake, really, that just won't help you in the pursuit of a victory here. The 0-1 with one out. Slapped into left field. Braylon Wimmer slipping in left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Harris moves over to second and stays there. A one-out base hit for Ryan Romano from Florida State. Braylon Wimmer slipping at the very first instinct and jump that he got. I think it was going to get down either way, but
Yeah, it would have been close. I don't know. I thought Wimmer might have had a chance to be able to get to that ball. Had he not slipped, he was able to field it on a bounce and took a bit of a tumble. Might have been a bang-bang play, whether he would have had to slide or had to let it drop, but regardless, definitely more of a moist outfield grass for sure. We had a little bit of rain earlier, not as much as we got yesterday. We're still able to take BP and infield, outfield on the field today, but unfortunate. But if anyone can work out of it, it's Chidoba for sure.
men in scoring position, I should say man in scoring position, but two men on the base path. Zane Harris leads the way at second. He struck out but still made it onto the base path. Foul ball dribbler down the third base line, and the bad boys fight for it over there for the Harbor Hawks. 0-1 count.
Daniel, with the game starting in 1 minute, I have to ask you, who wins tonight, the American League or the National League in the MLB All-Star Game?
I have to go, as a Boston Red Sox fan, I feel like I have to go AL, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shohei Ohtani at the top. You have Devers, you have Bogarts. And that team is stacked, but hey, I mean, you're talking Tatis and Max Muncy, Arenado. For the National League, that's a ball one in the dirt. Colton keeps it in front of him, 1-1. But I got to go with the AL.
Even though I'm a National Leaguer at heart, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think the AL gets it done tonight too, Daniel. I really do. Unbiasedly, I think the AL takes it.
1-1. Chidoba. Fastball taken back into the net. 1-2. This is Luke Mann. He struck out in his last appearance, and he was hit by a pitch in the second. And Reeves, just when we have a moment, what do you think of Bennett's outing today for the Braves?
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He was phenomenal. Obviously didn't get much help from his defense in his final frame. Obviously the first inning gave up the single, then the double to Harris. Outside of that, incredible outing from Bennett tonight. He was phenomenal.
2-1 misses breaking ball on the outside, 2-2. The crowd here was holding their breath for that call by the home plate umpire. But drops to 2-2. Chidoba digs back into the stretch. Chidoba has been one of the more effective relievers for the Braves, and his role will only increase with the departure of many pitchers. Hard hit ground ball. That's going to hit the base runner. They're going to call him out. It was towards Tanner Schobel at short, and it hits Zane Harris, who was trying to advance from second to third, and it got him by the midsection. I hope he's wearing a cup because he is jogging very gingerly over there. Boy, oh boy. But first of all, I hope he's okay. But second of all, we'll take it.
Yes, yes, we will. I haven't seen a batted ball hit a base runner in quite some time. In any level of baseball, honestly. I feel like I watch a good bit.
Well, it was such a hard hit ball by Luke Mann that there really wasn't anything for Harris to do. Another slapped right to the glove of Christian Knapczyk, a weak line drive towards the right side of the infield, and Cole Chidoba breathed a sigh of relief The Harbor Hawks leave 2 men on base. It's still 1-0, and if the Braves bats are ever going to come alive, right now is the time. Daniel Coates alongside me, Reeves Jackson, 1-0 here at McKeon Park. The Arkansas Razorback will take on the top of the 7th and lead off. Austin Wallace, I believe, is still on the mound. First pitch drops low and outside. Off-speed pitch, 84 for strike 1. Colby Thomas on deck. Caden Wallace flew out to right field in the 2nd, struck out swinging back in the 5th. And a rope to left field. Easy first hit for Caden Wallace. He trots down to first and stays there. That was a laser in between the third baseman and shortstop, dribbling out to Hardigan in left field.
So this is where the Braves, at times this year, have struggled. They've gotten the leadoff hitter on, but they have been unable to bring him home. So I'm interested to see, as Harvey Shapiro gives some signs down here to Colby Thomas. We know Colby is one of the best bunters on this team. Do you move Caden over? We know how hot Colby was at the play last night, but with some extended signs, we shall see. Something interesting to think about, at least.
Colby Thomas doing his job in the top of the 7th. Swing and a miss from Thomas.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm letting Colby swing away, but wasn't sure. You see Harvey giving the signs down there. And Colby taking him in.
Caden Wallace over there at first. Austin Wallace still on the mound.
We can tell you there is no relation.
No. Foul ball behind the press box. And right over the backstop, 0-2 quickly to Colby Thomas, who is coming off by far his best offensive day and game of the year yesterday here at McKeon Park. 3 for 4, 1 single shy of the cycle. 0-2. Caden Wallace scurries back. Wallace wanted to check on him. Wallace on Wallace violence right there. 0-2. The Braves have 9 outs to work with if they want to walk away with either a draw or a win here. Fastball taken foul towards the Bourne Braves dugout. It's going to be out of play, just out of the field. Harris was there at first. Zane Harris was denied there by the roof of the dugout. 0-2 it remains. Colby Thomas, the Mercer Bear, has an Arkansas Razorback, and Caden Wallace at first. No outs, top 7. Breaking ball low and outside. Ball 1, 1-2.
Yeah, obviously a lot of these signs that Harvey Shapiro gives sometimes just mean a whole bunch of hoopla. They don't mean anything.
I think most of it is just distraction.
Absolutely. Get the other team thinking.
routine, get the other team on their toes. 1-2, Wallace scurries back again. It's funny the players that they're targeting on the base path tonight. Joshua Moylan and Caden Wallace, who, if I'm not mistaken, don't have any stolen bases this season.
You're right. Correct.
Interesting stuff. 1-2, high fly ball. That's going to be in foul territory, but Harris is right underneath it in foul territory towards the bullpen of the Braves, and that is out number 1. Colby Thomas flares one in foul territory. Harris right underneath it. The Kansas State product, Nick Goodwin, who is 0 for 2 on the day, steps in with 1 out against Wallace.
Harvey Shapiro, who had the hat on over at the third base back, exchanges it out. He goes, whoops, may have forgot my helmet over there.
One out, and you see the bad boy running over. I was thinking to myself, what in the world is going on? As that one rises for Wallace for ball number 1. Caden Wallace for the Braves still on first, and on deck is Joshua Moylan, who is responsible for one of the 3 hits that we have. And that one gets behind the catcher. Proto and advancing to second is Caden Wallace.
Yeah, just hit the chest protector. I don't know if it got any part of the glove, but if it did, it barely.
Well, I let my guard down because I thought that was a foul ball at first, Reeves.
Yeah, just like similar to the one that was the drop third strike when Dalton Rushing was behind the plate. But this one I know pretty positively Goodwin swung through, but just deflected off the protector of Proto, and well, it works like a sacrifice bunt. Runner at second, 1 down.
So a man in scoring position just like that, 1 out and a 1-1 count. Goodwin, high fly ball foul over our broadcasting desk, which is just on the right side of the backstop here at McKeon Park. And a good crowd coming out for a Tuesday night in Hyannis. The fog rolling in, and with it the humidity. I wish it was a little warmer, but that humidity did not bring the heat. Ground ball to short. Caden Wallace advances to third. Nick Goodwin can't beat it out at first, but a man advances for the Braves to third. Ground ball to Ball at shortstop. He guns it over to Harris for out number 2.
Yeah, nice pick over there by Harris at first. Tough backhanded pick. Ball had to hurry to get Goodwin, who has pretty good speed. But Josh Moylan finds himself here now trying to play the hero for the second time in about a week. Did so against Falmouth as last time.
Breaking ball drifts low and outside for ball number 1. Tanner Schobel, the 9 spot. On the on-deck circle, Caden Wallace stalking the third base line. Wallace not giving him any concern. Fastball right down the pipe, 1-1. Two outs, top of the 7th. Swing and a miss off an off-speed pitch, 76 miles per hour from Wallace. Behind early is Moylan. It's a 1-2 count with 2 outs. The Braves are running out of time and opportunities to get a run across the board. The Harbor Hawks lead 1-0 at home in this 3-game span. High fastball taken upstairs, 2-2. A good eye by Moylan, who saw that fastball whiz by his eyes.
Yeah, great eye for Josh. That's a tough pitch to lay off. You want to pull the trigger, your eyes light up. Green for that fastball. Good job by Josh.
2-2 swing and a miss. That gets in the dirt. Moylan trying to beat it down to first. He can't. The Proto throw to Harris at first will finish things off in the top of the 7th. We're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. I assume we'll see Chidoba, but the Braves are running out of opportunities here at McKeon Park. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks are protecting home turf well with only 1 run, and they will try to add a bit more in the bottom of the 7th. Cole Chidoba in his second inning, trying to keep those Hyannis Harbor Hawks at a 1-run lead. The clock is ticking in Hyannis. The Braves are looking at a potential loss to a team that only has 2 wins as opposed to our 2 losses on the season. So
Yeah.
not good stuff thus far. Then that's what happens when there's only 3 hits from your offense. First pitch high and inside, catches the zone. Strike number 1, and Chidoba bring the heat. 94 on the gun out there in the right field scoreboard. Delivering from the windup with the baby blue glove. Hard hit ground ball right to Tanner Schobel. He absorbs it, guns it over to Joshua Moylan, out number 1. I'll tell you what, Tanner Schobel, I love seeing him in that shortstop position.
Yeah, he's smooth as silk over there, isn't he? He gobbles it up and delivers a strike every single time.
And that was a worm burner going over there to
Sure
Tanner
was.
Schobel. It was hard hit and hard to field, but he just made that look easy. And I'll tell you what, all of these Bourne Braves defensively in the infield have made hard plays look a lot easier than they really are. 1 out, high line drive to right field. Going at it is Caden Wallace towards the out-of-play territory, sliding, and he's got it. Caden Wallace sliding feet first and scoops it basket style just before it gets down. I'm not sure if it was going to be in fair territory or foul, but nevertheless, that's out number 2. The center fielder, Caden Rose, looking to answer after that impressive catch in right field from Caden Wallace. He wasn't able to score from third base as he was stranded last half inning, but he makes up for it there with a sliding catch. First pitch high fly ball from Rose. That looks like it's going to be out of play, foul, just over the roof of the Bourne Braves dugout. 0-1 and 2 outs. Cole Chidoba throwing strikes and relying on his defense. Chidoba from the windup. Caden Rose is struck out twice. Breaking ball drops low and outside in the zone. 0-2. He struck out in his first 2 appearances and had a fielder's choice back in the 5th.
Not exactly Caden Rose's past 2 nights, Daniel.
No. High fly ball again. That's going to be foul.
But how about that catch from Caden Wallace?
Wow.
Speaking of Caden's.
Slip and slide style.
That was a beautiful catch. It kind of has a jagged edge, that foul territory fence, as it connects with the foul pole.
I thought off the bat.
Yeah,
it
no, I
had
thought
a
so too. I
chance,
thought so too. I was just about to say that.
But this thick air and with all the humidity, foul ball right back into the bricks.
That ball is demolished.
Right back into the bricks. It stays at 0-2, but this has been a quick game, 1-0. The Harbor Hawks, who are at home, are your leader. The delivery, breaking ball drifts outside. Dalton Rushing snags the backhand, 1-2. Losing daylight here. Almost fully underneath the lights, which shows how much fog there really is. How dense this air is. 1-2. Yeah. Breaking ball low and outside, misses. 2-2.
This game has moved quickly along. Just an hour and 45 minutes to maybe 1 strike away from getting through 7 complete.
Knotted up count, 2-2. Caden Rose. Hard hit, ground ball, scooped up by Max Anderson. Flicks it over to Joshua Moylan for out number 3. Making up for his error 2 innings ago, Max Anderson finishes off the bottom of the 7th. Reeves, you're going to take us away in the top of the 8th, where the Braves have 6 outs to play with to overcome a 1-run deficit here at McKeon Park. Back in the top of the 8th. Looks like Joe Lampe is warming up. He'll be pinch hitting for Tanner Schobel at the 9 spot, and Brodo dealing with some difficulties behind the plate. It looks like a new pitcher here for the Harbor Hawks just broke. That's Noah Hall on the mound. Just broke the catching glove and went right into the mitt, and the mitt ripped.
No,
I've never seen anything like that.
He's not throwing 105.
No.
If you're wondering at home.
He got it perfectly in the mesh, and I think the mesh just gave way.
Yeah, probably from years of wear and tear.
It had to have been. So Proto now coming out with a new glove, and we have a new pitcher, Reeves.
Yeah, Noah Hall from App State. He is from Charlotte, North Carolina. Obviously, Appalachian State in the Sun Belt. Just appearing in his second game. A new arrival here to the Cape here, Daniel. Appeared again on July 10th against Wareham, so 3 days ago. And pitched a scoreless inning. 1 hit, no walks, and a strikeout. So successful first appearance for Hall. 6 foot, 182-pound junior.
And now that we're back on the whole mascot and who's who, we know we have the UMass Lowell River Hawks, but is it the Appalachian State Mountaineers? I think
I should know this because I went to Georgia Southern and we were rivals with them, but I guess I didn't care enough about them because we didn't like App State very much. I'm pretty sure it is the Mountaineers. It is. Yes.
That was my gut.
It was almost so obvious to me that I didn't want to say yes for sure. As Joe Lampe, as you mentioned, Daniel, pinch hitting here for Tanner Schobel. It takes a breaking ball from Hall, strike one. I assume what this would do, Lampe would go to the outfield. He would likely go to center. Thomas to the left. Braylon Wimmer would come in and play second. Knapczyk would go from second to short. As Lampe rips a ball down the first base line, but foul.
That was incredible from you right there. Oh, my gosh. You just did a Rubik's Cube in your head.
I was trying to figure out because I was thinking when we were talking about that a minute ago. Maybe that's why I was thrown off on the Mountaineers. So I was like, all right, where does Lampe go? Okay, yes, Wimmer goes to second, Knapczyk to short, Thomas to left, and Lampe to center. How about it? Lampe might have broken the bat, and now he'll get a new bat and do things again at 0-2. Daniel.
I think that's a fine plan for Harvey Shapiro. But
should I be managing now?
Maybe. You would remember your helmet over there at third.
Oh, yes.
I think you would.
0-2 here from Hall to Lampe, and he swings and misses. 3 pitches, takes care of the Sun Devil. Strong throw down from Proto, and the pinch hitter Lampe is retired on strikes. 1 down. So the Braves
really running out of opportunities here. Christian Knapczyk in the top of this order. I off air predicted a home run. I think
you did.
It's getting harder and harder, but
yeah.
and you know what? With the thick air and the fog, it's really tough now. But Knapczyk needs to start things off here with something.
Knapczyk, the leadoff hitter for the Braves, takes a fastball downstairs at 88 from Noah Hall in the dirt. It's the top of this Braves order. If they are unable to score here, they'll have one more shot to do it. In danger of being shut out for the second time this season. Lost 2-0 to Katuitt, and that was at Doran Park. It was the Braves' first loss of their young season. A little over a week ago, as fastball a little healthier on the velo there at 91, misses away, 2-0. Anderson is on deck as both Knapczyk and Anderson looking to right their offers. But the Braves only have 3 hits, so not many to go around, as this one almost bounced up and hit Knapczyk. Fastball that was about a 59, 58-footer. And Knapczyk is a ball away from being walked on 4 pitches.
And it would be huge for Knapczyk to get on, not just to start things off, but also his speed that he provides at the top of the order. Other than Joe Lampe getting on, he's the second fastest, I would say, in this lineup. And with Max Anderson as well as Dalton rushing up.
4 pitches, and Knapczyk is aboard. Maybe that is the spark this Braves lineup needs. So after getting Lampe on 3 pitches and striking him out, Noah Hall is not even close to the zone, and the Braves could potentially be in business here, as Knapczyk will walk down. Get a visit from the Hyannis manager here. We'll talk things over. We'll keep it with you here on the Bourne Braves audio live stream. we'll kind of recap this game for you. And really, all there is to recap is a Clark Elliott single off of Jake Bennett in the first. Later capitalized by Zane Harris. And as you described it, a frozen rope to right field, Daniel, that got just over the head of Caden Wallace that scored Elliott is the lone run of either side today. The Braves had a bases loaded situation a few innings ago, but Braylon Wimmer bounced out over to Luke Mann at third. The Braves left a few runners on today, hoping to not strand a runner here, at least get one across here in this 8th inning.
And here's a real question for you, Reeves. If you're Harvey Shapiro, are you sending Christian Knapczyk at first?
I would not be afraid to be aggressive here. I really wouldn't. You got to force the issue, but we'll see. First, a check on Knapczyk over there at the bag. I know your answer. I know you like it, Daniel, and I love the aggressiveness.
I am for sure all for the aggressiveness on the base path. I think you really need a Brave in scoring position now.
Hall's going to change his looks up here. A breaking ball that misses away. 5 consecutive balls now. As we look at some of the stolen base numbers for this Braves team, Lampe leading the way with 4, Wimmer with 3. Knapczyk is 1 for 2 on the year. He was caught stealing once, and he has 1 successful stolen base. That fastball misses away. Good stop by Proto, who had to go into the left-handed batter's box as Anderson stares down Harvey Shapiro, giving a few signs over there at third.
2-0 count here. The Appalachian State pitcher really can't find the zone at the moment. Christian Knapczyk is still at the ready, taking a lead at first.
I don't even know if he is swing here with how wild he has been. He misses in the dirt here with a fastball. Good stop by Proto. So it's a word of encouragement to the App State righty. But it's 3-0. It's 7 consecutive balls, and obviously we know the rules on 3-0 with this team. And regardless of even if those were a thing, you wouldn't be swinging anyways with how wild Noah Hall has been the last 2 hitters. A reminder, he struck out Lampe on 3 to begin the inning. Fastball finds the corner. Maybe a generous call by the home plate umpire, but it was close to the corner. It is 3-1.
It was close for sure, and that's been kind of a consistent call from the home plate umpire, unfortunately, but in other games that might not have been a strike.
3-1, a check on Knapczyk. A moan from the Hyannis crowd that thought they may have gotten Knapczyk, but he was able to get back in there. They're playing Anderson pretty straight up, the middle infield and double play depth up the middle, pinched a little. 3-1, Anderson chops it towards third. That is just foul, left of the bag.
Wow. What do you think about that? I thought that was fair.
I thought it landed. I think it landed foul right after the bag, so I think it was a good call by the home plate umpire. It was close, but I don't think it brought up any chalk over there.
Well, Christian Knapczyk will be going.
He will be. Yeah, I'd say send him here on 3-2. Only 1 down. I think it's a really good time to be aggressive. I agree, Daniel. I think he's going to go here. 3-2, Knapczyk not going. Anderson is going to send one up the middle, a base hit into center. Knapczyk, who was not running on the pitch, and honestly a good thing that he wasn't, because if he was, it would have ran right into an out with ball going to cover. So and it turns out that Knapczyk not running is a good thing. Anderson singles to center, and the Braves have him at first and second here for Dalton Rushing.
How about that for clutch? Max Anderson facing a 3-2 full count, slaps it right up the middle and in between the legs of the pitcher. And now we have 2 men on base, only 1 out, and our best batter, Dalton Rushing, at the plate.
Here's Rushing. Rushing walked his last time. Braves trying to mount a comeback here in the 8th. Against Noah Hall and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. A team with a league worst ERA is shutting out this Braves team here. But the Braves are not done yet. Rushing 0 for 2, Wimmer on deck. 1-0 that Rushing takes a big rip ahead and fouls it over the press box.
He was all over that pitch.
He was swinging for the downs.
Oh my goodness, and it didn't have a ton of pace. He timed it up perfectly and just was millimeters off from connecting with the barrel of the bat. Sends it back over the backstop. But again, Dalton rushing 0 for 2 on the day, so he has something to prove. Hopefully the tides change.
1-1. Off-speed pitch looked like a slider there from Hall that Rushing watches miss away. So Rushing leading in the count here, 2 balls and a strike. The always speedy Christian Knapczyk is in scoring position. Max Anderson, who doesn't have bat speed, but not as fast as Knapczyk. He's aboard at first. Hall comes set. Looks back at Knapczyk, now delivers here to Rushing. Fastball that misses down and away, 3-1. With a righty getting loose in a hurry in the Harbor Hawks bullpen, Daniel, I would assume if Hall issues a walk to Rushing, that would be the last batter he faces tonight.
Which could be a great thing or could be a terrible thing because,
Absolutely.
you know, Hall's not throwing strikes, and oftentimes with a new pitcher coming in, they could either be all over him or they could usually just shut down.
3-1 Rushing, swinging away, and fouls this one off of the high school here. Right behind us, a little bit over the Hyannis dugout and over the grandstands on the third base side. As you hear one of the boats on the Hyannis Harbor just beyond the right field wall. Count is full here. Hall is ready. Payoff pitch to Rushing, breaking ball, great eye by Dalton Rushing. What an at-bat from the Braves catcher tonight. He's aboard, and the Braves have him loaded, and for the second time in a few innings, Wimmer coming to the plate with the bases juiced, and right now, this might be Hall's to figure out, at least for now. There's nothing going on in the Hyannis dugout, but that is 2 walks here for Hall. It is all Noah Hall's to figure out, indeed. Braylon Wimmer to the plate.
Interesting move from the Harbor Hawks pitching staff and their coaching staff, but
Breaking ball that misses way off the plate. That was a beautiful save there by Proto. But Noah Hall unable to find any sort of the strike zone right now. Braves have him loaded. This is an opportunity they need to capitalize on. Wimmer ahead 1-0. Bases full of Braves. Fastball lined into left field, a base hit. That'll bring home Knapczyk. Anderson is going to be on his way to the plate as the ball was bobbled out and left by Hardigan, and the Braves have taken a 1-run lead here thanks to the great hitting of Braylon Wimmer.
how about that, Braylon Wimmer? He is the RBI clutch master, coming in again and slapping one towards the left side gap of the infield. And they're going to have finally a pitching meeting with Hall, and I believe we're going to see a new Harbor Hawk just after this. Braylon Wimmer takes the lead with a 2 RBI single.
Well, after a big Braylon Wimmer 2-run single into left field, ball was bobbled out there by Mitchell Hardigan. It brought home Christian Knapczyk and Max Anderson. The Braves will have runners at second and third. Rushing at third, Wimmer advanced to second. The new right-handed pitcher to tell you about for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks is Angus McCluskey.
Angus McCluskey from Pace University. He has one win coming in with a 4.9 ERA. He's seen 4 games on the hill. But, Hall was struggling to find the strike zone. It doesn't look like Angus McCluskey really has the answer either from his 4 appearances. He has 2 strikeouts in 3.5 innings pitched, 6 batters walked.
And they'll draw the infield in here. Caden Wallace to the plate, looking to give the Braves a few more insurance runs. Braves will have to throw 2 more innings on the mound if they want to escape here with a win. It took them until the 8th to score, similarly to their opening night win against Hyannis at Doran Park, when the Braves did not get on the board until 2 8th-inning homers, and one of those was by Wimmer, who so far has played hero here tonight. Rushing at third and Wimmer at second. Infield all the way in on the edge of the grass. 1-0 here from McCluskey in the dirt. Good stop there by Proto. Looked like a fastball at 87. This is a Hyannis bullpen that has not been able to throw strikes outside of Wallace, obviously, from Texas, and the excellent start from Scalaro.
Yeah, Scalaro has been far and away the most impressive Harbor Hawk, I would say, today. Held those Braves to just a couple of only 1 hit.
Wallace watches that one miss upstairs, and one more ball, and the Braves will have the bases loaded again for Colby Thomas, who would be looking to impress upon last night. These Braves bats are resilient. Never count them out in any game. 3-0 here from McCluskey, and Wallace was swinging away and fouls it over the net. A rare 3-0 swing, and usually you see Harvey Shapiro put on the take sign 3-0, but Wallace wanted to pitch right down the middle. 3-1 the count. Wallace sends a drive into deep left, chases Hardigan back. That ball is going to one-hop the fence. Rushing scores. Here comes Braylon Wimmer. Wallace thought about 3 for a moment. He'll return to second. It's a big 2-run double, and the Braves have exploded for 4 in the 8th.
There we go, Caden Wallace. I thought that had the chance to get over the fence, as I predicted about the home run, but, we will take it, a 2-run RBI double, and the Braves have exploded. You could feel it. You could feel the tension rising, and at some point it had to be released, and it was released here in the top of the 8th. Thank you, Braylon Wimmer and Caden Wallace, as well as some wild pitching from the Hyannis Harbor.
Well, and thank you, Daniel Coates, for projecting this to be the 8th inning the Braves score. It was a breaking ball almost hit Colby Thomas. Daniel Coates, the prophet here.
Whoa. There's only 2 left, and really doesn't hurt me if they don't. Unless anyone out there listening holds me to it.
Want to know here to Colby Thomas, and he is going to sky this one a mile high. Shallow center, Rose in, ball out. Rose calls him off, makes the catch. 2 down. Reminder that this inning started by a 3-pitch strikeout to the pinch hitter Joe Lampe. Following that, Knapczyk walked on 4. Anderson on a 3-1 count singled into center field. 3-2 count. Dalton Rushing then walked on a full count pitch. And Braylon Wimmer laced a 2-run single into left field. And then Caden Wallace just tacked on a 2-run double. Here's Nick Goodwin, who watches one downstairs. Now the line for both teams tonight. The Braves 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, and Hyannis a run on 5 hits and an error for them as well. That was in left on Hardigan, who bobbled that ball that was sent out by Wimmer. allowed Anderson to come home. As Goodwin is going to rope one. Oh, what a diving stop there by Ball. His throw across the diamond is going to get past Harris. That'll easily allow Wallace to come in and score. Nick Goodwin will retreat to the bag at first. An incredible stop there by Ball, who almost made a highlight reel play. It was an opportunity for Zane Harris to pick it out over at first. He couldn't. It got away over near the Braves dugout. And the Braves have scored 5 in the 8th. And Josh Moylan stepping in.
This Braves offense is red hot right now, and they're all over Angus McCluskey. He struggled to throw strikes, and when he does, he is walloped on.
So they'll give it a base hit and an air that brings home Caden Wallace. So credit Goodwin for the single, but no RBI as pickoff attempt here at first to Goodwin. But Nick Goodwin doesn't care if he doesn't get the RBI. He gets the single, and the run comes home regardless. 2 errors this inning for the Harbor Hawks, in which the miscue in left, and now Goodwin off, and a good pitch to run on the breaking ball. Strong throw from Proto, heads into center field on a bounce. Nick Goodwin heads to third where he slides in safely, and now the ball gets away here from Mann, but good backup there by the pitcher, McCluskey. And things are going all sorts of wrong for the Harbor Hawks this inning.
Yeah, Nick Goodwin was really thinking about getting going there back to home. But a good backup from McCluskey kept him there down the third base line. But the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are really falling apart here in the top of the 8th. And I don't know if it's really just a blown top of the 8th or the Braves are giving them everything they got.
Well, they're kicking the ball. They're throwing the ball away. That's an E2 on Proto as that pitch misses away to Moylan. 2-1. 3 errors this inning.
And we will go through the entire lineup if Joshua Moylan is able to get on base here.
Moylan with a high pop over in foul territory. Mann is over, and there is Ball, who calls off the third baseman. Mann makes the catch in foul territory, but not before the Braves explode for a gigantic 5-run top of the 8th. Braylon Wimmer started it with a 2-run single to left. Caden Wallace left his own mark with a 2-run double that one-hopped the wall. And then Nick Goodwin singles, the throw goes wide, and the Braves bring home a 5th. They now lead it comfortably 5-1. We head to the home 8th here at McKeon Park. Reeves Jackson here, joined by Mr. Nick Galley, our Braves beat reporter. A lot to talk about here, bottom of the 8th, as Chidoba, first pitch, laced up the middle here by Clark Elliott. I'll tell you what, Nick, Clark Elliott, what a past 2 games he has had for the Harbor Hawks.
He's hitting real well. I mean, really kind of the only guy in this lineup that's been consistent through these past 2 games. The rest of the offense has been really quiet, so.
Yeah, I've been uber impressed with
I know,
Elliott.
yeah. I mean, even though it's been a pretty depressing season for the
Yes.
Harbor Hawks, it's nice to have some pieces in that lineup that do show out every night and can be consistent on a daily basis.
Yeah, Elliott from a pretty solid baseball program over the past few years in Michigan in the Big Ten, as in steps Kyle Ball. Chidoba still on the mound. had to work out of the stretch a little bit today as this one is bounced foul over down the left field line. Nick, the first thing I want to talk about here with you, and then we'll get to the 5-run inning. But first, I think the first things first here is how about the video that you had from Colton Bender?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, just
on TikTok,
we got to let it settle overnight, and now I think it's a prime time to bring it back up here.
Yeah, it's done well on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. But TikTok, man, I think last time I checked, it was up to 236,000 views on the official Cape TikTok page.
And obviously, the Cape League was extremely helpful in giving you credit for the video,
Yes,
and they were
thank goodness.
Yes.
But yes, that was very nice of them. And yeah, I mean, it's doing really, really well. I did not expect that.
Beautiful pitch from Chidoba. He missed the second pitch. That one a strike, 1 and 2.
Yeah, TikTok, that's what the kids are on nowadays.
It is. It really is. The kids, we sound like we are 45.
I know, man. I don't get it. I don't get it, though.
I'm not
really
on it
don't.
either. I'm not on it either. I feel like I'm a dinosaur when I'm just 21.
It's sad,
22.
isn't it?
I don't even know my own age. That one bounced over to first. Josh Moylan is going to turn, fire to second for 1, back to first. And a collision over there between Chidoba and Kyle Ball. But one of the rare 3-6-3 double plays as Moylan goes over to Knapczyk. And Knapczyk back onto Moylan. Chidoba survives the tumble, and the Braves have 2 down.
You got a block or charge on that play?
You know what?
I'm saying that's a charge.
I'm going offensive foul.
That's a charge.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, TikTok's a weird place. Like, it's a very, very bizarre.
Bizarre as in content, or what?
I just think people should not be famous from that.
I agree.
Like people are making millions of dollars off that app
That's ridiculous.
for like stupid things. You know?
Well, sometimes that's YouTube.
YouTube in the early days,
But-
100%. 100%.
But YouTube is far more.
You got some good stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, you do.
though.
I was about to say. Yeah.
I mean, there's some good stuff on TikTok.
I'm
There's
sorry.
some
This
funny stuff.
might sound so old to me, and I apologize, but TikTok is like, oh, here's a dance, here's millions of dollars.
Pretty
There's
much.
Zane Harris, chopper over to Max Anderson, and he fires over to Josh Moylan. Nick, how about that, Nick?
I'm telling you, my luck is getting drastically better.
It's getting great. We'll keep you in here until Daniel gets back, and then we'll turn it over to Daniel to call the 9th inning. But talk about that Braves comeback. The Braves, it seems like the offense has had opportunities all night outside of when Scolaro was pulled from the game, but then they finally get it going.
Yeah, I just feel like they love making me rewrite my articles. I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm glad.
I feel like I pulled you away at a bad time.
I'm glad this is perfect because the lead, if they were going to get shut out in this game, which it really looked like they were gonna, the lead was terrible. I'll be 100% honest with you. But now, man, oh man, it's good. It's good.
So everyone listening
I
at home,
encourage everyone to
yes.
check it out after the game if you really. Did this man's eating 4 hot dogs in 2 nights.
This man,
this
Daniel
is disgusting. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness.
My
What
goodness.
is? We got Joey Chestnut over here.
Well, Joey
this
Chestnut.
is disgusting.
When we come back,
I can't even look at this man in the eyes. I'm done.
Well, when we come back, Joey Chestnut is going to have the play-by-play call for you in the top and the bottom of the 9th as the Braves will look to add on a few more runs before they get a chance to close it out with the Braves up here 5-1. Well, just like last inning for the Braves, it's 9-1-2. Lampy, Knapczyk, and Anderson to tell you about the 9th inning. Here's Daniel Coates.
And a first pitch strike looking is Joe Lampy, 0-1. On deck, top of the order, Christian Knapczyk, and a 9-1 that we haven't seen before is Joe Lampy sending it up to Christian Knapczyk. A laser foul.
Yeah, right? How about that? They're batting back-to-back, but 9-1.
Yeah, and we've seen them back-to-back, but not often at
not at
9-1. We're used to them at 1-2. It's 0-2 to Joe Lampy here with no outs in the top of the 9th. The Braves explode for 5 runs in the top of the 8th. High fastball drifts too far upstairs, 90 miles per hour.
Can I tell you something I'm very proud about right now, Daniel?
Yes.
All the defensive changes were correct.
Oh. Unbelievable stuff. 1-2. Slapped and flared and might get down in left field. Just foul. It was battled off on the outer half of the plate, and it just sliced a bit too far left. 1-2. Christian Knapczyk on deck. Joe Lampe's last appearance, he struck out. Tried to beat it down after a mishandle from Proto, but he was beaten with a throw down to first. The delivery, another foul ball back into the net towards the press box where we had WEEI, and I had the pleasure of going on there. You had the pleasure of going on at Katuitt at Lowell Park.
I did, yeah. It was, I'm sure you had a great experience. I did as well. It was fun just kind of bragging about the Bravos, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. There's not a lot really to critique. Check swing. That breaking ball goes down and into the dirt before the plate. They appeal down the third base umpire. They say he didn't go. 2-2.
Yeah, Joe Lampe trying to cut out a bit of the strikeouts lately.
2-2. The delivery. High fastball drifts a bit too far north. Full count. McCluskey still on the hill, and there is action in the Hyannis Harbor Hawks bullpen. The delivery. Another foul ball that might be in play and fieldable. No, it just goes over the fence towards the Harbor Hawks dugout.
We were watching Joe Lampe taking batting practice today. He put, 3 in a row, just shy of the scoreboard out and right. He was mashing in BP.
And he is looking at his second at-bat today. We didn't really expect that. Thought Tanner Schobel might stay in there, but he's taking over for Schobel. A full count and a payoff pitch from McCluskey. Check swing, and they say that hit caught the outside corner, and Joe Lampe does not agree. He was already halfway down the first base line. He's having a few words with the umpire, but I think he's thinking better and starts walking back. He still does not agree. It was a very late call, but Joe Lampe goes down for the second time. First was swinging, second was looking there.
Yeah, been a tough day for our friend here behind the plate.
That is slapped down towards Harvey Shapiro, foul. Christian Knapczyk sends a laser towards the bullpen in left field.
Talk about the flexibility of Harvey Shapiro. Did a pirouette cartwheel over there at third and did a backflip after that. Pretty crazy.
0-1. Breaking ball catches the zone, completely drops off. 0-2, 1 out.
Got to keep it entertaining.
Yeah, you do. 0-2, 1 out. Max Anderson on deck, top of the order here. Another foul ball. McCluskey is really zoned in here now. He's throwing strikes from Pace University. 5-1, the Braves are ahead, and now also have the hit advantage, 7-6. Slapped into left field. It might get down. In comes Hardigan, I should say, and finishes out for a fly ball to left field from Christian Knapczyk. Max Anderson digs in, the third baseman. 1 for 4 on the day. He struck out twice, popped to second in the 6th, and singled back in the 8th right up the middle. The delivery from McCluskey, low and outside for strike 188 on the gun. Max Anderson had a slow start to the day, but came in the clutch when he needed it. Moved Christian Knapczyk to second and put himself on first. Breaking ball, 69 miles per hour, battled off, foul towards his feet.
Man, that's a change of speeds if I've ever seen one.
0-2 and 2 outs. Dalton Rushing on deck. Very uncharacteristically quiet day for Dalton Rushing as well. High and inside, dribbler too short, picked up, fired over to first, and that's going to do it for the top of the 9th. And the final batter for the Bourne Braves, Max Anderson, chops it to Ball at short, and Ball finishes him off with a gun over to Harris. To the bottom of the 9th we go. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks face a 4-run deficit, 5-1. The Braves explode in the top of the 8th to take the lead and post 5. 5-1 is your score. We have arrived at the bottom of the 9th. My name is Daniel Coates. Alongside me, my friend and fellow broadcaster, Reeves Jackson. We thought this game might have been out of reach, and the Braves did not bring their bats until the top of the 8th, where they put up 5 and take the lead 5-1. First pitch taken into right center. Right there is Joe Lampe casually snagging that towards the warning track and the fence for out number 1. That was Romano. For out number 1, Chidoba is still on the mound. How about that? A two-pitcher performance for the Braves.
How about that?
Jake Bennett to start, and Chidoba has taken the way the last few innings.
Yeah, that's always excellent when you can save the bullpen, especially the fact that the Braves were able to do this after losing so many pitchers to the draft. They haven't quite brought in some new guys to fill those roles, so great job by Bennett and Chidoba.
First pitch, high fly ball. Joe Lampe going over there, but underneath it is Thomas, and that is out number 2. Fly ball to left center, taken over by Colby Thomas, who is bumped over to his original position by the entrance of Joe Lampe. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th in this Western Division battle. 5-1 is your score in favor of the Bourne Braves.
Yeah, I was going to tell you right before the first batter, but 2 quick pitches swung at Agnos in at third, and Peter Burns in behind the plate. 2 defensive changes that the Braves have made, but now 2 down here for Proto.
The Assumption transfer to UConn. First pitch right down the middle, 91 to Ryan Proto. 0-1, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. The delivery. That's a dribbler down the first baseline. It drifts foul. Fielded by Joshua Moylan at first. 0-2 count.
Say gas him up right here, Daniel. Give him the old number 1. Punch him out here.
I agree. He's been sitting 91, 92 with the fastball. I think I'm going to be expecting the high fastball here. The newest UConn Husky and the Bourne Braves begin a slow clap. The 0-2. Breaking ball drifts high. Ryan Proto on the day has gotten on once, and that was an error from Max Anderson back in the bottom of the 5th. A dramatic wind-up and wait from Cole Chidoba. 1-2. Right down the middle, and that will do it. The Bourne Braves on the road again at McKeon Park win 5-1. We have hit lucky number 13 in the win category, and we continue our lead in the Western Division and continue to add to it. How about that? The Bourne Braves do all of their offense in the top of the 8th, winning 5-1. And the pitching is really the story here tonight, as the Braves bats didn't come out until the sun went down.
Yeah, 5 innings for Jake Bennett. Obviously, he doesn't get a decision because the Braves didn't score their runs until the top of the 8th. But a much-deserved win for Cole Chidoba, Daniel. He was excellent. 4 solid innings out of relief. He shuts the door. You can't say enough good things about the job that Cole Chidoba has done now on the season. He has been scoreless. He is not allowed a run through 4 appearances on the season. As Cole Chidoba, you can't say enough things. Now 11 innings on the year without giving up a run. And then the Braves bats battle back late in the game.
The Braves battle back late and mount a 1-run, come back and extend it to 5-1 in the top of the 8th. As the Bourne Braves congratulate each other, they move to 13-2-3. Impressive stuff from these Braves, who are going to be hosting the Hyannis Harbor Hawks tomorrow at Doran Park in this 3-game stretch against the Hawks. And they seem to have their number offensively, but how about that pitching? And really the bats just came in when they needed to. Wasn't consistent, but it was necessary, and it was exactly what they needed to get it done here.
Yeah, the big 8th inning, obviously, would never have known. Obviously, Joe Lampe struck out, and that's what started things. And then Knapczyk walked. Anderson singled up the middle. Dalton Rushing drew an impressive walk on a full-count breaking ball that he watched miss low. And Wimmer singled to left, it brought in 2. Wallace laced a double off the wall, brought in 2. Nick Goodwin bounced one. There was a great play by Kyle Ball, but a wild throw to first ended up scoring the 5th Braves run. So when the Braves get them, Daniel, as you say best, they get them in bunches.
They get them in bunches, and they got them in bunches today in the top of the 8th, posting 5, and that's all they needed. Scoreless in the rest of those half innings. 5-1. Jake Bennett and Cole Chidoba are the story today. They post one heck of a 1-2 punch as Cole Chidoba finishes it out, and Jake Bennett started it well. Of course, that was simply off of a double from Zane Harris back in the 1st inning. Other than that, Hyannis Harbor Hawks were scoreless. We're going to leave you here from McKeon Park. My name is Daniel Coates. Alongside me and for Reeves Jackson, I say thank you for listening. The Braves win again, 13-2-3. We sit as kings of the Western Division, defeating the Harbor Hawks on the road once again. Thank you all. Catch us tomorrow at Doran Park. Good night and go Braves.